Hey everyone, listen, welcome to the building. This is rare for me, a Saturday, but I figure I had a free moment. I figured, why not come in and have the conversation? And, listen, I think I say this often, but I really mean it. The thing is, with a lot of these conversations, we have to come to a happy medium where we just say, you know what? We're going to agree to disagree. Okay. Because sometimes it has to go down like that. So, all of you that are joining me on this Saturday evening, afternoon, welcome into the building. As you come in, don't forget to hit that like button. I'm glad that you're hanging out with me, and we're going to have a conversation. But I had to bring my girl in the building, okay, to have a quick conversation with me. Larger curves.
What's good? What's good? What's good? I am so excited to be here with you on a Saturday.
On
We got her on a Saturday, y'all. It's Saturday.
And listen, I want to say this, guys. Curves has a channel. Go over there and subscribe. She has, and it's just like her name is on the screen. And she gets these amazing interviews, guys. So you better go check it out, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time she uploads something and she's about to go live, y'all can find out and be in the know. Okay. So yes, okay. Yeah. So 40 and Fabulous Cruising. This is so tragic. Hollywood uses their young and spit them out. Yeah, we can add that to the conversation. And before I get into things, I gotta say, R.I.P. Right, rest in peace, Aaron Carter, the brother of Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. Am I getting that right? Right. 34 years young. So sad, so tragic. And my heart definitely goes out to the family. May he sleep in peace. Super sad and so tragic, right? I don't know what his situation was, but they found him, I think, in a bathtub.
Right.
Yeah, they found him in a bathtub. I don't know, did he have any issues with substance abuse?
From what the article I read said, it said that he had a history of a struggle with
Okay.
substances.
Yeah.
They found him in his bathtub and they thought he drowned.
Oh,
He's only
so
33.
sad. It's like the Whitney Houston story, right? Very sad, very tragic. And yes, somebody, Michelle, you wrote, yes, horrible. So young, so young. It's just, it's a lot, right?
Right.
And fame is a lot. I mean, it's just, and I always go back to that saying where they say too much is given, much is required. Like, it's a lot. You always got to protect your mental health at all costs. Okay.
Right.
At all costs. So, yes. So let me before we get into today's topic, okay? And listen, we saying, can you stand the heat? The reason why I'm saying, can you stand the heat, is because when we get into these different topics, stand your ground. Say what you got to say it respectfully, agree to disagree sometimes, but educate when applicable, right? If you
Right.
can bring some different information to the conversation, we welcome you to do that. And so I'll backtrack. I think it was Thursday night, yeah, because I took yesterday off, right? Yesterday was Friday. So Thursday night I did an interview. If you are a Love and Marriage Huntsville fan. I did an interview with the brother, Marcel and Maurice's brother, Mark. And I heard a lot of, negative things about him, right? I did not see all of his lives. I'll be honest with you. I might have saw a half of one. I don't even know if I saw a half. But when I spoke to him, and I really like to, wanted to interview him, I was like, let's hear your side, right? Yeah, man, that interview was something else, okay? I was like, let's hear your side. So we about to have a little family reunion up in here. Hey, hey.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh.
So yes, today's a better day.
Yes. All right. So I was like, you know what? Let's hear your side, right? And all I can do is say this to y'all. The brothers are alike. He has a lot going on. I wish him all the best. And I was really trying to get from him to hopefully let other people see a different side of him.
Me too, Diva. I asked the question and he didn't entertain it at
At
all.
all.
Like,
Yeah, there was circles, it was spinning, it
Yeah.
was a whole lot of stuff going on and a bunch of nothing being answered. It was a lot of quotes. It was a lot. But if I had to give my overall assessment, just like a lot of times people want to say that females can't get over it and they be in their feelings and the over is over. He still hurt and big time hurt over the fact that yes, over the fact that Miss Van and him is over. Okay, so Fifi said, "I'm still."
And I was like, I feel you. I feel you.
but you know what, y'all? I really think that men take it so much deeper when a woman doesn't claim them or they felt unwanted or something. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't always feel those manly qualities. I feel like I have more women qualities than man qualities. So I don't really understand it. Like, but they really get emotional and defensive, like very defensive. I don't get it. It's like we're property or something. Like, I'm not your property. I don't have to claim you. Like, I don't have to do any of that.
He's the well, maybe because it's reality TV, but he's the first I've seen that got that deep in his bag of feelings about someone not acknowledging him. And then you had a moment. I promise you, I thought this moment was gonna go differently when I said, "What would you like to say to her?" When he leaned into the screen and said, "F you," I was done. I was done. That was it for me. I couldn't do it. I was done. I was done.
Was crazy.
I was like, you had a wonderful moment here because you just claimed 2 seconds ago you was done with it in October. Okay, that you was done with it in October. So you got a moment here to say something to her. Yeah, there you go to 12. And listen, I knew it was a lot when you could remember the Zach episode, the Zach season, and how many minutes into the episode that they said it about you, and you watched it 19 times. It was a bit too much.
Called that girl off of Instagram for 3 hours.
3 hours. That was so crazy. But let me tell y'all, and I must apologize because I know it's not funny, but y'all, when he said F you, I literally fell out the bed in tears because I was not expecting that. I was like, okay,
imagine how
Diva got him to turn around, like, you know, we're gonna get a nice little something. And when he said that, I literally just
I said in my head,
it was more
I said
so your
epic
face,
down.
Diva. It was your face to me. It was your face. That's why I was just like,
because I wasn't expecting that, right? And in my head, I'm like, epic fail. I said, abort mission. Abort mission.
I watched that
it's
like
done.
7 times, literally.
It's over. Okay, so today I decided to come on today because I posted a video about Kyrie Irving, right? And saying that pretty much they're pulling the carpet from underneath him like they're doing with Kanye West.
Right.
So many people, well, I can't say so many, but it was a good number of people that was like, Diva, you don't get it, okay? You're ridiculous. It's not about the money. It was just so many things, and I'm like, okay, so are you just gonna stand 10 toes down? Here's the thing: you can support somebody, and I say this all the time, but not support exactly every single thing that they do. Okay, you don't have to blindly support them. So I can say that I don't like what's happening to the person, but still in the same sentence say I don't agree with what they did. Because at the end of the day, all of us work for somebody for the most part. Even when you're an entrepreneur, you do work for someone, your customers, and you do have to get your supplies from someone. Okay. Right. So we're never totally free, right? We're never totally free. So my thing is that, and I said it in the video, if I work for Target and Target tells me I need to come to work in a red shirt, some khakis or some jeans, and always wear my name tag. If I come there in a blue shirt and not the proper attire, stuff is going to happen to me. Okay, they're going to reprimand me, and then at the end of the day, too, they will have the right to eventually fire me if I keep showing up to work not wearing the proper attire. In addition to that, there are some jobs where you sign a morality clause. In addition to that, there are some jobs that tell you we don't want you in social media saying XYZ and representing our name. Okay, so no matter where you go, what you do, there's rules to follow, and you're going to have to follow them. And if you don't follow them, there's going to be a price to pay. And so then we always love, I'll deal with our community for 1.2 seconds. We love to say, well, when do we stand together? But my problem is the only time we talk about standing together is when somebody is in some mess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before that, and not for nothing, I ain't mad at the brother, but were you standing by us when your shoes that we were selling by Nike is $200 and change?
Hello.
Did you say to Nike, let me make an economical shoe for the people? Or why don't we, at least when I put my shoe out there, maybe the first 1,500 in all the stores, we sell them half price? No, my brother, you didn't. So, but the minute we get, they will beat me with a stick. If you, the minute something, they fall down, if we don't go and pick them up and lift them up. And I'm not saying that we should not. All I'm saying is that we got to think about the entire picture. And someone in my comments said, well, you don't get it. It's not about the money. See, that's the other thing too with us. The world is ruled by money.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's always
so
about money.
it's always about money. So, okay, and tomorrow, listen, I love my job, but tomorrow they say I'm not going to get a paycheck no more. It's about the money. I got to go. I got to go where I'm going to get myself a paycheck. Okay, and Jersey Girl 68, he has been problematic for years. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw on ESPN that over the years, with all his shenanigans, he lost over $300 million. Jersey Girl 68, can we talk about it? Can we keep the truth in the conversation when we do it? I thank you, right? So she said, Black people haven't stood together since slavery. I'm trying to tell you, can I say this to you too? That we probably stuck together more when we was in bondage than when we were so-called out of bondage. But I mean, that's if we're going to have a conversation here. If we're going to have a conversation, I haven't
Let's have
found
that
this.
conversation.
Right.
We can do that.
I haven't found this Kyrie story, so I'm a bit lost right now. So what happened was, and people, okay, the when he actually tweeted it or retweeted it or whatever, he did it, right? And they called him to the carpet on it. And they wanted him to apologize, and initially he did not. So this is another thing that people was coming at me underneath the video. They were saying, well, it's still on Amazon. You can still watch it. You can still this. Why aren't we mad at Amazon? Why aren't they coming after Amazon? Well, here's the thing, everybody. There are millions, not even thousands. There are millions of young men and young ladies in jail right now at this moment because of one little mistake, and because they thought they could get away with something that others, did not get away with or did get away with. So if we got to have this conversation. Okay, so Bev said it's always the people who doesn't have the money are saying it's not about the money. Kanye is all about the money. Come on now, Bev. But he thought the supporters of Supremacy Groups had his back. Well, let's have the conversation. I'm trying to tell you, right? But when we bring this up, people are like, oh my God, no. And let's be clear, when we throw Kanye into this conversation, what he did, whether you like her or not, to Taylor Swift, and she was way younger than him at the time. I think she was only 19. It was wrong. What he did to Pete Davidson, it was wrong. Okay, had a whole funeral, had people calling him out of his name, had people calling him Skeet. It was wrong.
I thought they already called him that.
Huh? Did they
Wasn't
already?
that already his name, Pete Skeet? I thought. Or did he
Maybe
really make that up?
I thought he did, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Okay. So you know, let's talk. Let's talk. So hey Emmanuel. So I'm gonna stop running my
Hey, what's
mouth
up?
for a second. Hey, and let's kind of go around. How do you feel, Curves, about people saying that, you know what? We just gotta get behind these people and support them. Some people are pissed off that I want to say it was Shaq, it was someone else that said that I think LeBron James said that what Kyrie Irving is saying that what Kyrie did was wrong. So no, I want to hear what you have to say about Jeff Bezos. Tell me, what do you want me to say about him? Like, what do you mean? And if are you talking about the fact that the movie and the documentary is on Amazon? Um, I'm gonna sum it up like this: there are things that I cannot get away with that other people can get away with. And my response to correcting a wrong is not me going out and do a wrong and say, hey, don't bash me because they did it too. Because guess what? When I do my dirty deed, I'm going to be standing alone in that courtroom before that judge, and he ain't going to care about who got away with it before me. He going to be like, listen, we talking about you right now. But let me shut up for 1 minute and Curves, talk to me.
Well, I kind of feel like, okay, let's start with the Amazon Jeff Bezos thing. If
Mm-hmm.
it's a problem one place, it should be a problem every place. That's this whole thing. It's censorship selectively. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That lends itself to the whole slavery thing and the
Mm-hmm.
whole because he's black thing. And you just said that you yourself recognize that as a woman of color, without even having to say, as a woman of color, you get to, that what you just said conveyed, that you get to have an experience that you recognize you have to act and perform a certain way and expect people to receive that and acquiesce to that feeling that you just portrayed because you're supposed to, not because it's right.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm offering is, in this new era of redefining and reassigning, why can't we squeeze that in? Why can't I believe that freedom of speech is a right and that
Mm-hmm.
you can support it as my people, regardless of all that other stuff? Because what they do to Kanye in our face, what they do to Kyrie in our face, is they're telling all of us it's all slavery. They just took the biggest, strongest butts on the plantation to the middle of the yard and had us all watch while they took away their right to say what they have a right to say. Everybody can theorize, everybody can speculate. Science is based off of these things. So why not have a conversation when you want to have a conversation about what you want to have a conversation about? But no, that's not the way it works because the systems in place don't support that. They support what we're seeing. And we got two brothers in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
the yard. And aside from Ye's thing, and this could all be publicity, if we allow them, the they that there is, to make him not say a thought in his head when Twitter is afire with the N word, where are we? Why not allow the space for us to at least have the conversations we need to have, so maybe we can get over some stuff and be like, oh, that was BS anyway. Why were we even thinking that? Hebrews to Negroes, could that have come from? I don't know. What about all these things? Why are they afraid to allow us to have a thought that would warrant a conversation and clarification of what could possibly be this? That
So,
science is based off of this. We
right.
ask questions.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to Roy Curves. Thank you for your thoughts. And I could come back to you once I get around to everybody. So let me throw this in the conversation, right? And what I want to throw in the conversation is, if and I'm gonna use an analogy and I hope you can connect to it. If I am in the street, just selling my body, giving it up to whoever I want to get it up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they label me as such, whether they label me as a hoe, a whore, or whatever, right? But then I want to go around and say, that's not who I am. So I lower the value of myself by going out and doing these things, right? But then I get mad when someone calls me for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So have we not lowered the value of how negative that word is? And I'm just going to say the N word, okay? Have we not lowered the value when you will Google right now and you will get a massive amount of songs that have a derivative of that word in it? And again, I don't even know words, but I'm not going to say words. But there's other cultures that there are negative words about their culture. If you Google that negative word, you're not going to find anywhere near the amount of songs that will have that word in it, right?
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that responsibility goes on all sides. The level of, you know what, that respect my name, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I want you to respect my name, I first have to respect it. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So if
Yeah.
I want you to respect me, I need to respect myself.
Yeah.
So we're okay with devaluing who we are in our culture, but then we want to say to them, don't devalue us, right?
Yeah.
So, but you will never, I won't say never, because there's nothing where it's never, but you will rarely see them making a mockery of their own culture, devaluing their culture, and then tell you, oh, respect it. It doesn't
Exactly.
happen. We
Right.
will do a video, we will make songs. We will do all of that, tearing down our own people and our own culture and our own females within the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You will find on a higher level, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist in other cultures, you will find in a higher level in videos where our behinds are out, where our boobs are hanging out, where we're calling each other bees and hoes, where we're saying the N word, and then we want to turn around and say, well, why are you disrespecting me? Well, we're
Well,
taking a cue from you because you're disrespecting yourselves.
well, that
So
can
hold
make
on.
us
So, Kurt, I'm gonna come back to you. I
okay.
don't know. Callie, welcome to the building. Would you like to add to this conversation?
Yeah, I would just like to add that everything you said is absolutely correct. And one thing I think that a lot of people are missing is that it matters that they do not own these companies.
Come on.
It does. This is
Right.
why this is happening. It's not
Exactly.
just a racial issue. It's the fact that these men who have millions and millions of dollars did not take the time to build a business. They just want to license their name out to companies that they don't own.
Come on.
So then when that company decides that they're mad at them, they've broken the morals clause or something like that, the company's like, well, we're not doing business with you anymore, which they have that right because it's their company. You need to build your own company.
That
These
part.
people do not own these companies. These are licensing deals.
And when they're sick of you, when you misstep, when you said the wrong word, when you get out of line, we're done with you. And you can't do nothing about it, right?
Right.
So, Kanye, someone threw this into the conversation, right?
Okay.
They said that Kanye is a genius. I'm not going to go back and forth debating that. But he never started to do his own thing, right? Somebody's giving feedback. Can y'all all just mute for 1 second? And then when you speak to me, you come
Oh,
off? Okay. So he never went out and did his own thing. And as soon as they snatched the rug from under him, he didn't have his own factory. He didn't have his own people. He didn't license his own name. He was in the buildings with enough brands that he should have became his own brand in and of itself. Tom Ford, and there's many others, but I'm going to name Tom Ford because if you're in fashion, you know that name. He was a designer under Gucci. He didn't stay under Gucci that long. He learned the ropes. He took the blueprint, and you know what he did? He moved on at some point, and now he's Tom Ford. He don't need Gap. He don't need Gucci. He don't need Adidas. He's Tom Ford. So when you have Kanye or Ye West, who was in the building of Balenciaga, who was in the building of the Gap, who was in the building of Adidas, and now because you said something they did not like, they cut you off, and you knocking on the door of people that you offended, and then you asking why can't you get in? And you're saying, help me. We are the most loving people, one of the most loving people, I'm going to say, where we always want to say, get together, help him, help him. But let's be clear. His clothes was out of the reach of a lot of average working people. When a Yeezy shoe is almost $400, $500, $600, that's not in the reach of the people that you now want to help you. Okay. And then some of these people, they started a GoFundMe. Well, you know what? Y'all go ahead. Y'all start a GoFundMe for the people that that is already a millionaire and you're struggling living paycheck to paycheck. I won't be donating. And this is not because I don't wish him well. I wish him well, but I won't be donating. I'm good. He's a millionaire still, and he had plenty of opportunity, more than many others, to have his own factory right now. And let's be clear, he didn't even license the name White Lives Matter. Somebody else has that trademark.
Yeah, they trademarked it.
Yes, two guys.
Somebody else has it.
Yeah,
So where's the genius? Where's the genius, people? Right here, coming to the building. What would you like to add to this conversation?
I really agree with what Callie you've been saying, especially earlier, Diva, about these companies allowing people to just do whatever they want to do for so long. We're getting, you can do this, you get away with that, you get away with this. But we have to remember, there are rules and regulations when you sign contracts with other companies that you have to work in. At that point in time, once you sign that contract, you no longer have the freedom to just let whatever come out of your mouth or let whatever tweet on your tweet, that you want. You are signed to someone else. I hate to use it this way, but you are owned at this point by someone else.
Slavery.
And there we go. You just
Well,
can't
you're
run
an
in the
employee
streets.
at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. And you just can't run in the streets just saying and doing and acting any old kind of way, because there is another level that people are watching you at, and the fact that them both, knowing how long they've been in the industry, how it works, what's done, you would think that by this time, you would have made something that would be under your ownership, that
Yep.
to the point where you can say whatever you want to say and have no backlash and no repercussions behind it. You would think that they would just have the mindset at this time to be able, because they've just been in this longevity career for so long. And I'm sure that, being where they have been, they have seen the ins and outs, the ups and downs, people come, people go, what to say, what to not say, they have all of these people around them. So what's the point of having all these people around you if you're just going to go and mess it up anyways and just do whatever you want to do? You can't do that. You cannot do that. And I don't put anybody on a pedestal, but unfortunately, our society puts people on a pedestal, and we make them feel and look and think more highly of themselves or situations than they should. And it brings you right back down, crashing down. And you just can't do that. You can't do that.
Yep. So let me just read this. Jennifer said, let's talk. Let's talk. They don't allow people that look like us, I think you're trying to say, be in a position to own big companies. They will find something to stop us from getting to the top. So Jennifer, you throw another dynamic into the conversation. And I will say this, right? Sometimes we use those barriers to say they not letting us. We always got a they, right? But if you go back to, I want to say, what is his darn name? Not Russell Simmons. His name is slipping my mind right now, but he does this Black entrepreneur thing every year. But anyway, they started FUBU out of their trunk and out of the basement of their mother's house.
Damon John.
Huh?
Damon John, I think.
Thank you.
Is his name.
Damon John. So the thing is that we have facts that we know right now. Instead of utilizing those facts and making a change, It's easier for us to say they. FUBU built itself up to be a recognized name that many people use, and they started in the basement of the mother house. And I want to say the story behind that is he said that his mother mortgaged her house so he could start that line. So you can't always wait for they to help you. You're
Yeah,
going
this
to
this
have to
whole
go ahead.
they
Go ahead.
thing
Yeah,
is this.
we might have lost you, Callie.
But there literally was a day that got together and they were like, no, Kanye and Kyrie need to apologize. There literally was a day though. You see what I'm saying?
I get
There's
what you're saying. Callie, I think you're giving a lot of feedback. If you could drop and call back in, because I love what you're adding to the conversation. Robin, you're in the building. Let me add you to this conversation. What would you like to say?
Oh, I have a
Robin,
lot to say, but I'd like to
okay.
start with yes. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes. Yes, I can. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
We can hear you.
we can hear you.
Okay. I've been buffering this afternoon. A few things. I just want to say that you were right about a lot. But the thing is, Kanye has only trademarked the name Jeezy. Right now, everything that was produced under Jeezy, who is it, Nike or whatever that company is, they can produce every single thing again and put their name on it because Kanye does not own any of the designs.
Right.
I will push back and say that to Miss Curves, I believe that the word slavery in this sense is a stretch. And I say it's a stretch because none of this business deals that he has, Kanye, were not done under duress. He's not forced to do anything. He entered into an agreement. So I think that that's a bit far. When people keep saying this is what they did to them, whoever they is, Kanye and Kyrie did a lot of they did all this themselves. I will say that I just
seeing there's still a they.
I just actually, and all that movie that I wouldn't have known about until this. Oh, it is 3 hours. It is not only inflammatory, really, really racist, anti-Semitic. I should say. And
Until this.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Just let her say, and I'll come back to you. Go ahead.
It's bad now.
Go ahead,
what
Robin.
I will say is that we have to, one of the things that I think is an issue is the way that these punishments have been meted out at Kyrie Irving. I did not understand. I said, remember to Diva, I wrote on one of on your page once, I'm not understanding what made the Nets, buddy up and throw out $500,000 to the ADL, just like Kyrie. This is one time. Guess what, folks? Money's not going to get you through this. It's amazing. It's so I think that they needed to have stuck to one thing: either just find him and let him play, or find him and or suspend him. The problem is, and I think the reason that they did this suspension is because when you look forward, so if somebody, let's say another player, how about the one Jewish guy in the league, if he comes out and starts calling all the other players ends, and the N word, he would need to get punished too. And how would you? So they have to. I think they suffer a problem of not having a standard. And the last thing I'm gonna say, forgive me for going on, but the last thing I will say is Kanye West and Kyrie Irving have one thing in common, and that is that they have been allowed for so long to engage in aberrant behavior without consequence. Now
100%.
it seems like it's a major pile on, and it looks like it, but I'm saying it's like, it was just like they were storing stuff in the bank. Here's a demerit, and when you get to the 500 mark, we're gonna slap you with a fine. That's how we're gonna do you.
Yeah. See, here's the thing, and I'll throw this in the conversation, and thank you, Robin, for joining the conversation. Then I'm gonna go to Andrea. Here's the thing, right? we can do our deed, but unfortunately, we don't get to choose the punishment. So when the punishment comes down the pike, you could be like, it's unfair, it's not right, it's wrong, but we don't get to choose. Okay, when I do a bad deed and I have to go before the judge, I would be like, yo, this should only deserve 2 days in no prison, probation, put an ankle bracing on me. It's not that serious. And the judge be like, I'm sorry, boo. According to every law we have, this crime is worth 5 years in prison, 2 years probation, and you're gonna pay the court fees, and you're gonna pay this fine, and you're gonna pay the people back you hurt. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, that's overkill. This was my first offense. And they're like, oh well, too bad, too sad. You don't get to choose the punishment for your crime. So as you stated, they were giving out invisible demerits. They were giving them out invisible demerits, and now they getting the visible punishment. Is it overkill? It seems like overkill to many, but again, you don't get to choose your punishment. Andrea, you're in the building. What would you like to add to this conversation?
Hey, well, I've got two things. The first thing, I do agree with you about the Tom Ford, build something of his own label.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, even if you're Tom Ford, you're going to need Vogue. You're going to need W Magazine. You're going to need banks. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So one black man can't build an entire network of business. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
It would take really, and I feel like that's what he's trying to do, a community of black billionaires and 100 millionaires to come together and really build. The other thing I was going to say, it was the ADL, which is, I think it's the Anti-Defamation League that they gave. I think the Nets gave 500,000 to, and then Kyrie gave 500,000 to. I have been to their gala at the Kennedy Center in DC. And the thing about it is they are super, super powerful. Corporations and banks and everybody gives money to them. They're kind of like the NAACP. So the reason I think the Nets gave that money is because if they could give that money, then the ADL would quiet everybody else down and not come after the Nets. It's almost like, I wouldn't say a bribe, or a shakedown, but a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. So the thing is, at the top, and I mean, obviously, I'm not an elite, but I've been around a lot of elites and near it. And it's just a small world. They vacation in the same spots, Martha's Vineyard, or, you know what I'm saying? They go to the south of France and they run into each other, and everybody knows each other. And, their kids go to the same school and stuff like that. So when you piss one of them off, it's like,
you want to know something, Andrea? That happens in every industry. So even if I'm a nurse and I work in a certain state, it's but so many hospitals I can go to. So I can curse out hospital A and maybe get in hospital B. But if I curse out hospital B, in 1.2 seconds, my name is going to be mud in the industry because everybody's going to hear about me. And eventually they're going to be like, don't hire her. Circles are small in every industry. And I will say this, Kanye wants help now, but when he was on top with his billion-dollar contracts, he didn't want help from nobody.
He didn't want help then, and why was that not the time to gather your other black millionaire friends to build and to sustain?
But guys, can I say something?
Of course,
it would be great if there was a community, but at this point, I'm gonna be honest. The fame that Kanye West has is not like Damon trying to build a company out of his trunk. Kanye does not need Vogue magazine, and there are many marijuana dispensaries that operate without banks. So at this point, these are excuses. This man didn't want to build a business. He didn't care. And that's what you will find with most of these celebrities. They don't have a desire to build a business. And as far as this punishment, the government is not punishing these people. Now, John Galliano did the same thing in France and did go to jail. And it did destroy his career. But this is not France. We don't have those laws here. These people, their only quote unquote punishment is people saying like, hey, dude, I don't want to do business with you no more. I'm sorry. I don't feel these people are being punished. I feel like they created this situation by not building their own company.
Amen.
So does it matter at all? So we keep talking about, okay, yeah, we have responsibility if we had our own and all of that stuff. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, you can't say what you want. It's America for some people. They can say and do exactly what they want. And when you know you're not supposed to do that because you know you're not in that group and you do it anyway, then, oh, look, you get what you get because you acted like you know you weren't supposed to act. You act all over there and you got over there treated. Okay. So we had our own banks. We had our own Wall Streets. We had our own Beverly Hills. We had our own record labels that promoted positive, classy, covered, Black excellence, singing in all the instruments, all of that stuff. We had it all. And then what happened? Then did their records get played? No, because who owns the media? Their records wouldn't get played. They had to fit into a certain genre that was being pushed and fed back to us to the point where we acquiesce and we're like, okay, fine. If the N-word full of song is all we can sing to get a record label, then let us go ahead and do that. And now we're like, oh, we're our own problem. Really?
So, Kurz, I'm connecting to what you're saying and I'm hearing you. Let me throw this into the conversation. It's not either this side or that side. It's
all
somewhere.
Of a sudden, see, as soon as
No,
we point it
no.
out,
Hold on. It's in the middle. And I've always said that. But the thing is, I'm going to stand 10 toes down.
Yeah.
No matter what, I don't care your color. There's certain things you can say. There's certain things you cannot say. At least I'm coming to you. I'm not ignoring you. So I cannot, even though there's freedom of speech, I cannot stand in the middle of a mall and say, hey guys, there's somebody coming with a GUN.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
that's
there's
ridiculous.
nobody with a
That's
GUN.
ridiculous.
No, but it's still, if
It's not ridiculous. It's free speech.
Thank you, Robin. So what I'm saying, I even can't call on an airplane anything of forced narrative because I'm going to pay the price for it. So I'm saying that no matter what you look like, there are rules and regulations to every single organization, job, place, church, this, that, and the other. And if you don't follow those rules, you run the risk of suffering the consequences for not following those rules. So I'm just saying with both of these gentlemen, right? Both of them, too much is given, much is required. When they was getting their check from Nike, when they was getting their check from Balenciaga, when they was getting their check from Adidas, they wasn't checking for us, right?
At all.
They didn't
care. It's a checking for a situation. I
know what you're saying, Chris, but let me just finish this, right? They wasn't checking for us. But clearly out of Kanye's own mouth, now that the blocks are falling down, he's like, where y'all at? Where y'all at? So, but here's my thing, Kanye.
The Black Lives didn't matter a few weeks ago. Remember that?
And when your White Lives Matter shirt was on.
Okay, but hold on though. Call your wife, cause she could possibly, your ex-wife or whatever, cause she or your estranged wife, right? Because she can help you maybe calm some of this situation down. But you calling on us because you know that at the end of the day, we fall for the sympathy card. I don't want to get too far off the wagon here, but the same thing with OJ Simpson, right? You didn't know us, you couldn't see us, you wasn't checking for us. But the minute you got in major trouble, now you remember the people. And you wanted the people to help you out and to pray for you and the Dr. Who and the yada, yada, yada. So what I'm saying is when you have the position and you're in power and you can help change, you only care about you. But the minute you start to fall from that position, you want to get us riled up and say, yo, you see how they do us? They doing us dirty. But you didn't round us up and say, hey, you know what? Why don't you come and bring your product over here to Adidas because they treating me well. And maybe I'll get Adidas to look at your design and you get up here and be up here making this money with me too. You didn't call my name when you was at Adidas. You didn't call
Or
my
if
name when you
Adidas
was
don't
at
even
Gap.
push it, you didn't push it yourself. You
Yeah,
didn't do it. You
right,
didn't call on me so that I can push it because now I have the influence to push it. He didn't
right,
do that.
Right.
right, right. So
Okay.
Lisa, you're in the building. I'm
Well,
coming back
now,
to you, Karen. Go,
I hear
Robin,
you.
give me a
I
minute.
hear you.
Okay, give me a minute, Robin.
sure.
And Lisa, what would you like to add to this
I'm gonna tell
conversation?
you like this right here. I'm tired. I'm tired of these people when they get into the white society. They want to kiss all they tail, want to be all of. Then they want to come back up and say when they get in trouble, to like to the black woman, because that's who you coming back to. You're not going to the black man. You come to the black woman so the black woman can hold you down again. Hell no, okay. And I'm tired of them keep on putting us down like we are dog shit.
Wait,
They
Lisa,
make
please
so
don't
much
curse on my
money.
channel. Please don't curse.
But I'm this time I'm
Right.
telling right now. They does this all the time to us black women, and they want to come running back and telling us, "Come on, you gonna hold the brothers down? You gonna hold the brother down? You didn't come for me. You weren't there for me. You said my life didn't matter. You said the white folks' life matter. So you want to come back and run back into me and say, "Ooh, you my sister. You supposed to hold me down." Well, brother, you never hold me down. You never hold me down. That's what I do. That's what I always say, and I say, and I don't mean no disrespect to nobody. And I'm black, and I'm beautiful, and I believe in this right here. I don't believe in Black Lives Matter because the Black Lives Matter, baby, it won't be so many our brother and little baby sisters out there dying in the street left and right. Every time I look on the news, some young black uh people are getting killed over stupid stuff. And
Okay,
you
so hold on, Lisa. Thank you for their comment. Give me a minute because I want to get Shannon in the building into this conversation. Give me 1 second. So Jennifer said, I get it, Jennifer, and a lot of people are pissed about this, right? They're saying that why is Amazon still allowed to have the movie up if it is so bad? Right?
Let's
And
just burn
okay,
all the
so
books.
okay, so I don't disagree with you, right? So get on them also for taking it down. But I think sometimes, I mean, but get on them also so they could take it down. But I also think what happens sometime is, right, that we want to justify wrong by saying, well, there's 10 other wrongs out there that are doing the same wrong as me. So I think that all of these issues need to be dealt with, and all of them need to be dealt with equally. And yes, if it is still up there, they need to be dealt with and it should be taken down. But to me, it still doesn't negate the fact that you have to watch what you say, right? I do not, let me tell you this, I do not want anybody to say anything negative about me, and I don't want to say negative things about anyone else. Shan, you're in the building. What would you like to add to this conversation?
Hi, Diva, and
Hey.
everyone. I'm so
Hi.
happy to be here again. That week when I was coming on all the time, I was off from work. So, like, now it's like, I'm like, oh, I missed another live. So, thank you for having me. But I was in and out because I just came home from brunch. But I
Okay.
didn't hear exactly what we're talking about. I was listening to you when I was driving, but I was losing connection. So, what are we discussing now?
Well, it's a discussion of a lot of people are kind of, you know, I don't want to, I'll say the word trigger, right? About the conversation of what's going on with Kyrie and Kanye West, about how because they either, they're being accused of promoting hate speech for sorts, lack of a better word, right? So, many people are just very upset about the consequences that they are currently dealing with, right? And so it's like, how do you feel about the consequences? How do you feel about the overall way that we handle these particular situations? And do we go too far with certain people when you say something, you get a smack on the hand. If I say something, I get buried. So that's pretty much the way I could sum it up, so to speak.
Well, life hasn't been fair. We already know that. Like I could
Right.
do something, and then my coworker could do something. She could get, spoken to, and then God forbid, like it's different because I work in the healthcare field too. So I know we have HIPAA laws, we have all these things, but we know we can't just act the fool. You know, they say we have freedom of speech, but do we really though? Some of us, the rest of us, you know. So I watched your video earlier because I didn't know about Kyrie Irving. Like I heard about him, but I didn't know like the details. So I watched your video earlier, and I think you said it best. When you get rewarded for bad behavior, you keep doing it. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
some of these people they get, so high they think they're untouchable, and then the Caucasian man is saying no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, so, I mean, I agree with, someone was saying that Kanye should have built his own. I agree with that, but I know that's probably easier said than done. Because, yeah, he's in the room with these people, but these people are still way ahead of us. You know what I
But
mean?
but Shan, let me just throw this in there. Me with $200, it may be pretty hard for me to start my own brand, right? Maybe it probably be difficult. You with millions of dollars,
True.
I don't think it would be that difficult. And especially because you have the ears of a lot of people. So if he
And
wanted
you get into certain
material to
rooms.
do his thing, he could get material to do his thing. Now listen, I watch a lot of fashion bloggers. Um, Even there's one fashion blogger that I watch where the label is on the clothes. That's why I know that what Cherie Whitfield did from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's not unusual, right?
White
The
labels,
the
white labels
label,
or something.
yeah, her label is
What did
on the
she do?
clothes.
Oh,
Well, she
Sheree with her she
right,
by she.
right,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
But I watched this fashion blogger that has her own fashion line, but literally they are clothes from a factory that many people utilize. Is Amazon, that what is that one? Sheen or Shin. They all use it. And all she does is buy clothes from there. She has her label on it and she has her own fashion line. And she models the clothes herself, and because she's a good model and she takes great pictures, it looks like luxury items on her. But it's the same item that's on Amazon for $25 and she's selling it for 125. And believe me, she sells them off the rack.
That's what
So
Fashion Nova be doing to these girls. Like me,
right,
I go to
but let me just finish this.
H&M.
So all I'm saying is if somebody who doesn't even have his influence and his money can start their own brand and be a recognized name in these streets, surely, with millions of dollars. See, remember, he bragged when Forbes put him in the magazine, and I think they said he was worth 1.2 billion. He corrected them and said, "Get it straight. I'm worth 9 billion or 3.3, whatever." He told them to get it right. And so, you mean to tell me a genius, self-proclaimed genius, with $1 billion does not have the resources to start his own line? That's insanity.
It's not, you know what, Diva? It's not that he
Yes.
doesn't have the resources to start his own line. It's that the genius part of him has failed because he didn't even have relationships himself with factories that could manufacture. Just like we said, Tom Ford came from another house. He doesn't even we don't even know that he has designers in his own cipher that could advance his brand. And so that's
Right.
crucial. So he was really, he kind of curves, he kind of enslaved himself in that sense, because he
Yes, he
really could,
did.
Well,
he really
well, you
commanded that. And the other thing is, one thing that is very clear is that free speech ain't free.
No, it ain't.
Let's remember.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Let me read
well,
this super chat. Give me a minute and I'll let you speak. Let me read this super chat. Tracy, thank you so much for the super chat. The Gap tried to sell back stock to employees. Everyone was like, nah, we're not buying anything, especially the Black people. Thank you for the super chat. Here's the problem too, right? Here's what he did impacted many because they ended up closing a factory, I want to say somewhere in Georgia. 140 people got laid off because the Yeezy products are no longer in production. So right before the holidays, 140 people are losing their job. So that's why they also say to much is given, much is required. So this is a bigger picture. It wasn't all about you. People were getting jobs and had jobs because of you. And all you thought about was you and what you wanted to say, and that you have a right to say it. There's a lot of things I have a right to say, but my brain, my intelligence tells me, don't say it.
You
Don't say
know,
it.
I think
Diva.
he can't start his
Yes,
brand because, like, not everyone's meant to be an entrepreneur. Not an excuse, but probably he has people telling him, like, okay, this is, you know, he probably is not like a starter, if that makes sense. You know, like some people, they can only, like, you know, be the name or, you know, I'm not
yes.
articulating what I'm trying to say correctly, but
No,
Well,
I
think
understand what you're
Kanye,
saying. So Stan, what you're pretty much saying is, listen, and there's nothing wrong with this. Some people like to be the employee and not the employer, and that's okay. That's that because it takes a lot to be an entrepreneur. It takes a lot to run your own thing. It takes a lot to stand on your own.
so
But
I
to
feel like he
me,
don't have that in him, maybe. You know,
no,
not
well,
an
but
excuse,
you
but
know what I think it
yes,
he
is
definitely has the money.
go ahead.
I think he may not be great at delegating, you know, because he might be a control freak. But I was going to say to the previous speaker's point about how he didn't have his own connections for like production and stuff. I remember his latest show that was in Paris a month or so ago. Before he even had that, he was posting on Instagram saying that he needed somebody to help produce his show, that he couldn't find anybody to produce his Yeezy fashion show. And that was just crazy to me. You know, you're Kanye West, and this is before his fall. And he said he couldn't find anybody to produce it.
That's interesting. Thank you, Andre, for that. Callie, I'm
He
coming to you
probably
one
doesn't
second.
have a good
Wait,
product.
one second. I'm coming to you. Tracy, thank you again for the super chat. You said there was over 600 people that lost their job. You have family there. That's sad. That's very sad. And right before the holiday. Callie, what did you want to add?
No, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to have to go because I keep getting calls. But I just wanted to comment about the freedom of speech thing. Like I was saying before, John Galliano literally did the same thing in France and he was jailed and his career was ruined. Nobody is getting arrested here. The federal government is not doing anything to these people. The local law enforcement is not doing anything to these people. These are businesses that are saying, I don't want to deal with you because I don't rock with you and I don't support your beliefs. And even when Kanye did that first anti-black interview he did on TMZ, I couldn't for the life of me understand why people were still supporting him, because every time I saw Yeezys, I saw some of the very racist things he said in that interview. And I'm like, well, if that's not what you rock with, why are you still wearing this brand? But because people didn't stand up at that point, now he messed with another group of people who don't tolerate this and they do own things. And they
Yeah.
say, you know what, we don't want to do business with you. That doesn't mean that they're infringing upon his freedom of speech. You do not have the right to tell me as a business that I have to do business with you. You don't have that right in America. I'm
Well,
sorry.
honey,
And
you
if
dropped the
I
mic.
owned a business and he said that slavery was a choice and black people want to be Democrats to get food stamps, and he didn't want his daughter to be told that she was black, and all of these and all of these other racist things he said in that interview, I would have been like, Kanye, you gotta go. It would have never even gotten to this point for me if I was in charge of anything at Adidas. He would have been going after that.
Mm.
Well,
And
So
that's
well,
a
I
really
Callie,
valid
well,
point.
Callie,
That's
I,
totally, I hear
yeah,
you.
yeah. Let
yeah.
me tell you something. Drop the mic right there. Drop the
Yeah.
mic, girlfriend, because you are correct. Nobody is saying anything that he does. Well, they said that he was wrong for saying it, but they got the right to say that he's wrong for saying it.
Was he?
Just like I got the right to say you're wrong for calling me a doctor, whatever. And
Uh-huh.
if I own the business, I got the right to say that, you know what, now that you call me that, I'm good. I'm not going to keep giving you my $1 million check every year
Exactly.
and you don't respect me. Come on now,
And
come
that's
through,
And
fair.
girlfriend.
I
That's
I feel
fair
like
too, you
shame
know.
on us for not standing up for our community and not making something happen. And that's what it always is for us. I feel like, unfortunately, our community feels like, okay, because it's us, then we'll just let it slide. It's going to be okay. But then we
Mm-mm.
expect everyone else's community to do that. And that's not how it works. We can't tell other communities how to react to something that offends them, just like we don't want nobody to tell us how to react when something offends us. So, I feel
Right.
like he set himself up. Kanye has been down this road for a very, very long time.
Callie, we can't hear you.
He set his own stuff up. He set his own
Yeah.
stuff up
He
like that.
did. But
Okay.
Callie,
He
you
said
was
it.
And
talking a minute ago. We
oh,
couldn't
my
hear
fault.
you.
My fault. I didn't know. My fault.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Lisa. No, I just wanted to let her know we couldn't hear her. She was talking, but we couldn't hear you when you was talking, Callie.
I
Um,
just think there needs to be
You
consequences
guys.
to like certain behavior. So I agree. If I have a business, I want my business to be held at a certain
Oh,
standard. Not anybody's gonna just be able to, you know. So I get what they're doing. Sorry to cut you off. I think Callie was speaking, and
yeah. No,
sorry about
no,
that.
no, Shan, you are correct, right? I have the right, if I run my business, to want my business to be held to, certain standards. And if you come, whether you black, white, yellow, orange, or green, and you're not holding up to my moral code, then I have the right to say goodbye, go. I think
Yep.
all businesses have, what do they call, a mission and a vision statement?
yeah.
Yep. And a
Okay.
business
And
plan.
yeah, in the business, if you're not standing up and living up to my mission and my vision, and if you telling me straight up, if I'm a brown girl and you telling me straight up you don't like brown girls, why would I continue to do business with you?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
And to me,
especially if I'm giving you tons of money. Go ahead,
yeah,
Rhea.
I really feel like this should be a lesson for our community too. We have to stop just always, like you said, Diva, I feel like our community is one of the most loving, one of the most forgiving, one of the most, okay, we'll move on, we'll give you a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth chance. And I feel like we really have to stand up as a people and really stop just accepting any and everything, whether it's in our community, out of our community, period. We cannot just accept anything because these other communities, when someone does something wrong, that's really wrong and it's publicized, we hear about it and they turn on their people. They do. You will never hear another Jewish person speaking against their own, you know what I'm saying? Publicly. Like that's it's just not what they
Right.
do. And I feel like we have to raise our standards as a community and what we will and won't accept no matter what. That is the only time things will change when we set our standards of what we feel and what we believe is acceptable and unacceptable. For me personally, this whole Kanye West thing has been unacceptable for a very long time.
That
Really,
yeah.
after his mom passed away and he got with the Kardashians and all that, it
Yeah.
was too much for me. It was team too much. And me, myself, was not willing to accept what he was doing and saying for and to our community. It was just not acceptable. I don't own anything Kanye West. I don't listen to his music anymore because I refuse to accept what he has
Yes.
said about us and tried to put on us as a society. He has given other people uh a false narrative of who we are. They already got a bad narrative about us, anyways. So then you go further and create a worse narrative about our community. I just
Yeah.
can't. I can't live behind that. I can't live behind that.
Also, let me throw this in there to tag on to what you're saying, Roy. When he got with Kim, and listen, I'm a firm believer. Get with who you want. I really don't have issues with that, right? But you don't have to get with a person and then dog another person out, right? So when you got with Kim, he said he had to take
Oh, that's
99
rough.
baths or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, right?
Mhm.
Because he was with Amber Rose before that. And so Amber Rose, I believe, I don't know, don't quote me 100%, right? I believe she identifies as a black girl. And so here it is, you're telling people that, black women are so dirty and nasty Before I can rise up and be with this woman, I got to bleach myself, cleanse myself, and, get rid of whatever the thing may be. So as like you said, Roya, now my son loved him. He's falling back now because of the rhetoric and everything that he's doing. But I myself personally, I was like, I wasn't, because he was team too much.
For
He was
years.
team too much.
For all of
Oh,
this, I used to
Ebony said no,
love
she
Kanye
doesn't.
West.
Okay. But
I
go
used
ahead.
to love his music. Avid listening, love him. But after his mom died, you could really see the mental instability begin to really just. I feel like it's always been there, but his mom really protected him. I feel like she was really just that only person that really looked out. And then she should. That's her baby. And I just think when she passed, it kind of really, the wrong crowd got around him. And I just think that he just never really recovered from that. And because it was just right after that, he just kind of went into these rants, saying whatever you want to say, thinking whatever you want to think. And that's justifiable. But you cannot expect people to hold you down who don't agree with you, no matter the skin tone, race, or anything. Can't do that.
Right. Sometimes things trigger things in people, right? Like just like you heard, like there's some like high school basketball stars out there. Their whole life they didn't even know that they had a heart problem, and then all of a sudden they pass out, fall out in the court because they're overexerting, and that's how they find out. So yes, it could have been always laying dormant in him. And these traumatic experiences, his brain didn't know how to deal with the death of his mother, and it just triggered all other kinds of stuff coming out of him. So, but my thing is too, though, it seems, I think with him, it's a mixture of things, right? It's a mixture of his personality could just be that he is a jerk, a a-hole, and some other things. And then on top of that, you got the mental illness. On top of that, you got that he's narcissistic. On top of that, he has this God complex. It's so many things. It's so many layers, right? And I think that all of those layers, it doesn't help that perhaps he has a mental illness and he has those other layers, right? And to be honest with you, if, most psychiatrists say that narcissism is really a form of some type of mental illness, right? So he has a lot going on, and that's the piece that I identify with, right? The fact that he has a lot going on, the fact that with the right medication, the right people around him, maybe the piece that would show up with him would be different, and maybe we would see another level of how he handles himself and handles his business. I also think in terms of his business, he comes with ideas. And they help him execute those ideas. And that is
That's what
why
I was trying to say.
Yeah, he's the idea
That's
guy.
what I was trying to
yeah,
say. Thank you.
yeah. And I
Diva,
think as a result, he can't sit down because he's not sitting down with his own paper and pen and sketching out like a lot of these designers do, the jacket, the shoes, the whatever. He's telling Royer, this is my idea for some Yeezys. And Royer, as he's telling his ideas, is sketching it out. Okay. And then he'll tell him, no, do this, take this away, do this, do that, do that. He can't do that on his own. And so that is why he's always going to have to be, in my mind, I could be dead wrong, connected to a brand. Unless he gets hired a local sketcher, like a local fashion designer, a local artist, and work with them and build your brand. Because let's be clear, at this point, Michael Kors, Gucci is not even owned by the Gucci family anymore, but you get what I'm saying. Michael Kors, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, they have a whole bunch of designers that they get from FIT to come intern or work there. And those are the people that are coming up with spring 2023 line. So, but I know this, and I'm the basic chick in these streets. So how you going to say you want to come up with Yeezy, but you don't even have the blueprint, the basic blueprint to do this yourself? It's the first thing people tell you if you go to an entrepreneur class and they say, what do you want to do? I want to open a restaurant. They're going to be like, well, did you ever work in one? Was you ever a waitress? Did you ever work the front of the house? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to do inventory? Do you know how to order food? And if you say no to any pieces of those, they say save your money because it's going to be an epic fail. Or else, even if you get a whole bunch of people that can do that, you still need to know if they're doing it right or how you're going to manage them. So he needs the people that he's allegedly free from because he doesn't know after all of these years. And you got to do shame on you, Kanye, for wanting to build Yeezy and you don't know the basic 10 fashion 101.
Because it makes me feel like
Diva, can I
either
say
an
something?
idea or did somebody bring this idea
Yes,
to
you can, Lisa.
you
Give me a
and
minute.
you just kind of ran with it. That's what it's giving.
Right. Let me let Lisa speak. But Lisa, before you speak, give me 1 second. Vernice, I don't recall ever seeing you before. I'm the only one that could see you. Show me your face, and then then you could go back to your avatar, and I could let you up. Other than that, I'm not going to be able to let you up. Tracy, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. You could go back on your avatar. Thank you so much. You could go back on your avatar and I'm gonna bring you up. Tracy, thank you for the super chat. Kanye does not realize he ruined opportunities for other black brands. Yes, Amber Rose is black. She is a fellow Kate. What is that? What's that last word?
Verdian.
Murdian. Okay. Thank you so much, Tracy. I truly appreciate it. Okay, Lisa, I'm gonna let you go, and then we'll let Bernice speak. Go ahead, Lisa, because you've
Yeah,
been
I'm
trying
gonna
to
put it
speak.
like this. I'm so tired of people using his mom as excuse for him. Okay, I have
Mm-hmm.
mental illness too. I have said this mental over and over time. I deal with panic attacks and anxiety attacks. I can't be around a lot of people most of the time. And also, when my mom had passed away, my mom been gone 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see me out here wilding out and making stupid suggestions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? People need to stop using his mom as excuse. He did like you just said. He does a hole. You know what I'm saying? He been like that for years, and it is now showing. Because I remember when he was at Eva Kim. I think Kim at the point now she couldn't save. I think she wanted to save her man. She wanted to save her man. He was at 7 Night Live and he went on a rant. You know what I'm saying? Just constantly doing stuff, constantly doing. Somebody needs to make sure he take his dumb medicine or something. I don't not know. All that stuff he's doing is unexcusable.
So Lisa, let somebody else in the conversation, but hold on, and I'm gonna come back to you again. But let me say this: everybody deals with their conditions differently, right? You and I could be diagnosed the same thing. I could be a whole hot mess, and you could be fine. In addition to that, I think people bring up his mom because one, it wasn't as if his mom suffered an illness and then passed. His mom had a procedure. I
Mm-hmm.
believe, and I could be dead wrong, right? I believe that his money was a main reason why his mother can have this procedure on the level that she did. She was getting a lot done at one time. And so imagine in your mental that here you are, you when a lot of first generation wealth, um they're so proud of themselves and they're proud of the fact that they can pay and get their mother a house and maybe pull their mother out of poverty and help their uncle and help their cousin. I think that's kind of like the syndrome that Candy has. She feels a lot of responsibility on her back, and I mean Candy from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because she's like
Mm-hmm.
first generation wealth and she wants
Mm-hmm.
to just help everybody in her family. So I'll get back to Kanye for a minute. I have all this money. My mom wants to get tummy tuck, this, that, and the other. I give it to her. Now my mother has this procedure and now she's gone. I'm going to replay in my head because a natural thing that people do, even if I'm driving a car and I get in a car accident and I got two people in my car, I live and they die, the natural thing I'm going to keep replaying in my head like, oh my God, right? So the
Yeah.
natural thing I think he's playing in his head is the fact that his money was given to his mother. She
Contributed.
had this procedure and now she's gone. So I'll come back to you, Lisa. Bernice, you're in the building. What would you like to add to this conversation?
I do not think that this is like a chemical imbalance. I think this is a head trauma that's causing him to behave the way he's behaving. He had an awful accident, and he had trauma to the head, somewhat like a football player or a boxer. Something is going on there, and no one is addressing it.
Okay,
No
so I get
medication. I don't think any medication could help this young man. He's going down.
yeah. So that's a thought to throw into conversation, right? I forgot, it's slipping my mind right now what they call what football players get
CTE.
sometimes. CTE.
CTE. Because
Yeah,
I'm
and it's not.
watching.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to
No, it's okay.
interrupt
I'm
you.
fine. I'm fine. Go ahead.
My son was in the NFL. He
Okay.
was a receiver, and a lot of his, you know, friends, they're suffering different things, and they're having behaviors which they normally would not have had if they did not suffer a head trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney Peete is suffering from it, and the NFL does not want to address this.
Right. It is.
Anyone that suffers a concussion, there's something left behind where they're not the same. That's just my thought. It's not a fact.
No, and Vernice, we're fine with thoughts over here, right? We're all having a conversation, and it's not far-fetched that you could be correct. It was the car accident the result of his mouth being wired.
It was horrific.
Right. Right.
I
So,
feel like it's
Shan, give me a minute. I'm gonna come back to you. King, you're in the building. What would you like to add to this conversation?
Hello, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually agree with her to a certain extent. I think it's a myriad of things when it comes to Kanye West. I think we are seeing, mental health issues, and as you said, everyone, me and you can be diagnosed with the same exact mental health issue, and it just manifests itself differently depending on who we are and our circumstances.
100%.
When you tie that on to the fact that he was first generation wealth, and you come from a environment in which you saw your mom provide for you, you get money, especially a multitude of it. You want to do things that would be pleasing to your mother, give her certain things that she couldn't afford for herself or you when you were coming up, because you felt her love through it all. And
Mm-hmm.
his mom passing away, um, with his money being spent on the procedure,
Mm-hmm.
although it wasn't exactly just the procedure, but his money being spent on it, I'm pretty sure all of us would feel some ways about that. And we're not dealing with what he's dealing with mentally. I also believe there's a narcissistic trait, so
Yeah.
that's why we're getting it on such a grand level, because the narcissist in him loves the attention, whether it be negative, that he's
Mm-hmm.
receiving from all of this stuff. So I think it's a myriad. And then of course the accident, I had actually forgotten about that traumatic accident where his mouth was wired together. So there could be some neurological issues from that. I just think it's a myriad of things, and I think it's personified because he's famous, and
Mm-hmm.
that fame feeds into that narcissistic nature that I think is very evident.
Yep. 100%. Amen. So, Mocha, yeah, his mother, if you watch the documentary, I want to say this documentary was on Netflix. I think it was 3 parts, right? And this is the part where I will say that this man, he is extreme. I'll say he's extremely smart in some way, shape, or form, right? Because he definitely kept his eye on the prize. So before he even got to the level of where he became Kanye, he had the foresight to have cameras follow him. He had his friend, I want to say this is the guy who was able to put out the documentary with him. And I'm talking about the camcorder from back in the day. He had his friend film him before anybody really know who Kanye was. And that's what this 3-part documentary is about, right? So the thing is, Mocha, you can have degrees, but degrees don't always necessarily equate to money. So when you see his mother in this documentary, she lived in the average home. I want to say it was an apartment at the time. And get what I'm saying, connect what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that at all. But I'm just saying that it leads to my story of now Kanye has the money. Now he can help his mother do better. He was able to raise up her level of living and the things that she had access to. And his mother was very intelligent because watch the documentary, even the life she spoke into Kanye. And she pretty much told him, believe in yourself. Don't care about what others said. And this man, no matter how many doors closed on Kanye before we knew his name, it didn't stop him. It didn't stop him. If you did not see that documentary and it's still on Netflix, it's worth watching. It gave me a different perspective on him. And I just think it's sad the trajectory and everything else that happened in his life afterwards. But all I can say is watch the documentary. You'll get more insight as to how close him and his mother was, how intelligent she was in raising him by pouring so much love in telling him believe in yourself. So he achieved all that he achieved. I think a lot of it has to do with the way his mother raised him, but I'm also connecting with maybe it was that accident, and a couple other things is what is showing up in his life now as Kanye. So I threw that in there. Miss True Kelly, you're new in the building here. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Hey Diva, hey panel. I just want us to take a step back and let's not think about Kanye West's mental illness, his accident, his mom dying, all that stuff. And let's think about all like the external factors that this situation has showed us. Like first, let's stop. Let's say if Jay-Z came out and said all these things, what would we say about that? What would we say about his behavior? What excuses would we have for him? He doesn't have a no mental issue. He's a well-known businessman. If he said the same thing, are we going to have the same issues? I think what we're seeing is that in society, the Black community is not policing ourselves, right? We're not coming out and saying, no, you should not be doing that. No, you shouldn't do that. The only reason everything got shut down is because he said something about the Jewish community, and they don't play that. As soon as you say something that's even close to sounding anti-Semitic, they're on your head. They're coming for you. Another problem is that we don't own anything. Right? We don't own any major corporations. So when they say, oh, boycott, what are we boycotting? Everything we need, people own that we probably don't like. So how are we as a Black community supposed to say, oh, boycott this, boycott that? It is not the 1960s anymore, where there's only one bus line. And everyone in the community uses that one bus line. You know what I'm saying? So it's a totally different environment, and if we don't own anything, we don't have any power to say you're wrong, we're going to take all your business away.
I beg to differ. We do own. It's just what we want. It's the brands that we want. We own.
Yeah, we do. So
But what do
Miss
we
True
own?
Kelly, but wait, Miss True Kelly, let me just say this to you. Let me throw this into the conversation.
Yeah.
We can still have a major impact because if you look up the people who spend the most money, who has the buying power, who spends their money like that, is us.
Exactly.
So and
But
so if we,
we're
but
not a
hold on,
community.
let me just add this, and I'll come back to you. I'll let you
Okay.
chat, right? Let me just add this to you. If tomorrow we all decide to cancel our Netflix subscription, to cancel our Amazon subscription, to stop shopping, and literally we will only have to do it for 2 weeks, we will shut this country down.
We
So
will,
All the
I
but the
way down.
problem
promise
is we
you,
don't work
but hold on,
together.
let me just say this. I
Okay.
promise you, we will shut it down and they will try to have a conversation with us. But I'm going to tell you what the problem is going to be. If I say, Curbs, let's not go to Macy's anymore, she'll say,
Why?
okay, right? But before you even say that, right? Before you even say that, let's say she agreed. I say,
Uh-huh.
well,
Okay.
yeah, let's not go to Macy's anymore because they did that, 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 that. And
Right.
he'll say, okay. The minute, because everybody knows how to get to us. They know how to trigger us, right? All they got to do is put the Uggs on sale for $10
Yep.
and
Put
guess
the
what?
Uggs, put the Coach bag, put the
20% off.
Just
Everybody
20%
is gonna be like,
off. There you
forget it.
go. 10 of us that swore 10 toes down that we was going to boycott Macy's is going to slip over to Macy's and get those Uggs because our little baby girl won them for Christmas. And we know that normally they $100 and
does
something
anybody here remember Black Solidarity Day?
Yes. Yes.
Vaguely.
I feel like
Yeah.
no one
Okay, now
there's
my
literally no sorry.
Go ahead.
But do you remember that, Diva? I know in New York, we had this thing called Black Solidarity, the first Monday in November, and we did nothing. We didn't go to school. We didn't go shopping. That was our own power. We can remember. Now, when we talk about modern day boycotts cannot happen the way that you just described it. It would have to be part of a process. Because you got to set them up, let them know this is what we're doing. Can we negotiate? And then you go into action. Because if it's not public, if everybody doesn't know, if only all of us here in this panel, if we're the only ones who are boycotting, that's one thing. And I say that because I have been cursed out royally about my positions about Kanye West. So I felt like this about him for a long time. I have never messed with Kanye. I have my girlfriend, my hairstylist. She doesn't like Wendy Williams. So you know how in the beauty shops they got the TVs. You could not put her TV on that because she didn't like these things about Wendy Williams. But people are so insular about their feelings or their rationale that they operate as islands in and of ourselves by ourselves. Yeah.
So wait, hold on, guys. Tracy, thank you so much for the super chat. Tracy, I'm gonna get you. Tracy said, Diva, I got Uggs for $10 last week at a cassava shop.
like you were saying,
guys. Tracy, we needed that laugh. We needed that laugh. I truly appreciate it. But let me just say this, guys, and I'm being so serious. We have the power. We don't utilize it. We don't stick by each other. We don't stand by each other. And they know how to pit us against each other. So I'll just do this real quick. And then Naughty Love, I'm gonna let you get into the conversation. Me and her could work at the same job. There could be clear issues, right? And we join together and say, nah, we're about to go take this down and shut it down. They're going to secretly come to Naughty and say, you know what? I'll make you supervisor. And I'll give you an extra $5,000 in your salary, and I'll give you a bonus every quarter. And 9 times out of 10, and Nadia, I'm not saying you specifically, but you know what I'm trying to say. But 9 times out of 10, guess what? They got them. They're gone. They're done. That person is no longer down for the cause. And then they don't tell you nothing because they tell you shut your mouth. Don't say nothing. So now you back around us and we all signing the positions and you ignoring us. Be like, girl, why you're not signing? No, well, Willie, they never did nothing to me. I never had no problems with that supervisor. I'm good. I don't want to start nothing. So they know how to pit us against each other. They know how to dissolve our cause in 2.2 seconds. 9 times out of 10, one person in the group can be bought out. And then if they start to put pressure on the others, slowly but surely, everybody will dissolve and move away from the cause. And then you're on an island by yourself. And so then you say, well, I can't win. Nobody's standing by me. This is a bad example in some sense because, she agreed to the cause for a minute. But this is why Nene is pissed. Nene Leakes is pissed because she knows that others may have seen things that went on at Bravo. But because they're not going to leave their $1 million check, they like, girl, I ain't got no issues with them. They gave me $1.5 million last year for 10 episodes. You go ahead and you good. And they also are not going to stand by her. You know why? Because when you was getting your 2.2 million, you was good too. But now that they no longer giving it to you, you want us to shut down our check? We got a long way to go. Let me read this super chat, and then whoever wants Naughty Love, I'm gonna let you come into the conversation. Tracy, Diva, I used to be HR at a hospital. I can tell you how many of us stab each other in the back. I'm trying to tell you. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. I'm trying to tell you, Naughty, what do you want to add to the conversation?
Ooh, Kanye. um really have grown tired of him. He really talks out both sides of his neck, and he really lost me. It was all good when he was out here talking about, I'm a billionaire, I'ma only talk to billionaires, right?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Unless you a
Uh-oh.
billionaire, I don't got nothing for you. I
Mm,
can't even listen.
mm.
It's See, Kanye diminishes the meaning of his message by saying all these reckless things about several communities, whether it be ours, whether it be the Jewish community, okay? And he does this when he's not getting his way,
Oh,
okay?
yes, yes. Come on, talk,
Because
girlfriend.
let me tell you something about celebrity. They maximize off of our community because they know we're divided. They know we don't stick together. And they think they can use us when it's convenient. And I'm over Kanye's black convenience. Okay, he only wants to deal with us when they all have turned their backs on him. He didn't bring Yeezys to our black community and our black corporations. He went to them first. And then when you can't get your way, now you want us, the community, to support you. I'm done. You will not use me any longer, sir. I'm over it. I was over Kanye when he married Kim. Seriously.
That part, that part.
Because you
Look,
got to be just like her to want to be with
Mm.
her. And he's using a lot of the Kardashian tactics right now. The way he manipulates media, he got all of that from them. And I'm just done. I'm done with people making excuses for him. Yes, he does have signs of head trauma issues because I know people with head trauma and they kind of be up and down, up and down. But at some point, you have to be held accountable for your actions. It doesn't matter what mental illness you have. It is your responsibility as a parent to take care of your mental illness.
well, drop the
And
mic.
I'm just saying, and guess who's just like him? His oldest child.
Oh, well, no, I leave the children
Yours?
alone over here. I leave the children alone over here. But
We
okay,
can't talk about children.
no, 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 no kids over here. No kids over here.
But
But
she
I'm
just
saying they
telling the
different.
okay,
truth. You can't get mad. She just telling the truth.
okay, but
She telling the
Lisa,
truth.
Lisa,
Got
for
it is.
me, I'm good. I just don't do the kids, okay? But so all right, fine. So who else wants to add to this conversation? You definitely dropped the mic. Does anybody else want to jump in?
Well, can I just speak on the black unity thing?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, it is no surprise we aren't united, and throughout all of our causes, through our sojourn here in America, it's always been the issue of them being able to infiltrate uh, organizations or stands or movements using sometimes just one person shutting down the whole cause. And it's
Hmm.
because that division was placed within us, throughout the years, and it continuously manifested itself into a division where we didn't need someone to divide us. We started doing the dividing on our own.
Mm,
And as the young lady that just got done speaking, they, and not just speaking on people of other races, but those who can profit from us, and all cultures, races, and ethnicities profit from us, from our dollar. They play off of that division. They know that. Now Kanye got up, and I wasn't justifying when I was saying what I felt was going on with him. I wasn't justifying his actions because I'm not by any means a Kanye apologist. But
right.
this is the same man who said some pretty outlandish, foolish, and crazy things towards his own community,
Hmm.
which at that moment, his skin is black, but at that moment, I divided him from the black community because he showed us he had no interest in us, not in a positive way, not through marriage or anything.
Right.
Um, but these same black people, you have some black people who are becoming apologists for him as though they have forgotten the terrible things he said about us first.
Come
Mm-hmm.
on. Come on. Come on.
And we can't blame that on mental illness because mental illness does not cause you to not be privy to the challenges that we have faced and that we do face as a black person. And
Right.
just because you have money now does not mean that you haven't experienced some of the same suffrages that the majority of our communities have spent, who have helped you reach that billionaire height.
Yeah, hello, facts, right? Bedside BK, thank you for the super chat. It's not stab in the back, it's a different agenda. Just tell me what you mean with that particular statement. Just write it down, and when I see it, I'll pull it up. Just tell me what you mean by that. And so Mo Walker said there are YouTube content creators that perpetuate division among the black community. Well, girlfriend, we can have a whole nother live on another day about this situation. But
Mhm.
I'm going to try to sum that piece up because you bring up something very good there, right? And I'm going to sum that up in like 2.2 seconds and say this. I think it's sad, right? So, because yes, that happened. And people have sent me emails, they've been in comments on my videos trying to incite me and say stuff about other content creators and this, that, and the other. But if you've been following me for a while, I don't do that.
You don't do
I
that.
don't accept it. I don't embrace it. I
Mhm.
don't like it. The biggest analogy, I took this entrepreneur class one time, and the guy said, I don't understand why y'all feel just because you're in the same industry, y'all all can assist and thrive. And so he put this picture up. Now, this is going way back, when they had the projector screens and stuff. He put this, he put he put this picture up on the screen in the supermarket, and it was the bread aisle. And he said, have you ever gone in this aisle in the supermarket any day in your life and have not seen multiple choices of different brands of bread? He said, there's tons of white bread to choose from. There's tons of wheat to choose from. It's raisin bread. It's this, that, and the other. And he said, you have never gone to your supermarket. Can everybody mute 1 second until you're talking to me? I'm hearing a little feedback. He said, you will never go to your supermarket and not see all of these different breads. He said the idea that y'all all can exist is insane, is built out and is rooted out of jealousy. And I never forgot that man. I never forgot the analogy. And again, even with this YouTube thing, we all could be winning if we stuck together, but instead we rather step on each other's neck and say, I'm better than you better than me. I can't mention my sister. I can't even create with my sister. It's insanity. We all can win. That's all I want to say about that. Because like I said, that could be a whole nother live. A whole
Mhm.
nother live. But it's
That's
very
so
sad.
true.
It's very sad that we don't support each other and people want to pit us against each other. What is, don't get me started. Anyway, back to the agenda
You know what,
here. Who wanted to
Diva, but
add
you know
something
what,
to the conversation? Yes, Robin, go ahead.
Robin. You know what? Now that you mention it, one of the things I've been trying to push when we talk about black ownership, for example, I
You're
returned to
breaking,
Black
you're
Planet.
breaking up.
I was on it like
Wait,
back in
Robin, you
when it
saying
first
something
came out,
important, but you're breaking up.
1991.
Say that to me again.
Okay, we talk about black ownership and supporting our own stuff because we built Twitter and YouTube and TikTok, but you know what we have? We have Black Planet that came out in 1990. I forgot why I stopped using it, but I returned to it a couple of weeks ago. And remember, Black Planet was actually the original Twitter. Black Planet is Twitter's mother, father, muse, and everything else. And the other thing is fan base. Fan base is another social media platform that is very much like TikTok. And it's actually more of a hybrid of, I think, a TikTok and YouTube. You can monetize your content on there. It's black owned and operated. The rate of return, I believe, is better than YouTube, but I'm not a content creator. I was just reading up on it. So, if we consider um, places and spaces that are for us and by us, and we do them, we give them the attention that we're giving crazy, we give crazy now crazy Elon Musk, who is saying you got to pay if you want to be verified as a blue check on the Twitter.
Because he paid too
We
much for Twitter. Because he paid too much for
oh
Twitter. And, and,
Yeah.
and, and,
he
and
didn't
he's
have that
and he's
money.
laying people off.
Half of his workforce, but I don't think he never really had that money. He wasn't liquid to the degree that he has said he is. That's he had to get money from so many sources. You know, you're the richest man in the world allegedly, but you can't afford to like lose $44 billion. Yeah,
He
that's supposed to be
overpaid.
dropping the bucket.
Listen. He
Can I jump
overpaid
on?
for Twitter, but yes, you can come. Give me 1 second. I'll let you in. Let me just add this to the conversation. I'm gonna tell you the other problem with us. If I start a sneaker brand and my sneaker is in Foot Locker and is right next to a Nike sneaker, and it could be just as good or even better than a Nike sneaker, because we rather do brand recognition, my sneaker will probably flop and theirs will sell. You could probably wear my sneaker to 10 years from now, and the Nike sneaker will be all tore up, but you will still go buy the Nike over mine. And then you will question me about the price of mine, but you never question Nike. You will ask me where mine was made, but you're not asking Nike. If I make a pocketbook, you want to ask me, is it real 100% leather? But meantime, LV bags, okay, are not even leather.
Coated,
Check that. And they're
coated
two
canvas.
grand, and change. So the other problem that we suffer from is we don't trust each other. We don't trust our own. So we'll rather go anywhere and pay even a higher price than to go to our own brother and sister. Another thing I'll say really quickly, before I stopped braiding my hair, I had the same braider for 20 years. For the 20 years, I will always go to her. People will come in here and say, well, why is it $80? Why is it $90? Why is it $100? Why is it this? Why is it that? But you go somewhere else and get your hair done that don't look like your sister that's standing on her feet all day doing this with the braids and braiding down to your behind and all that. And they tell you $200 to color your hair. You got $200 for them and you're giving them a $50 tip. But your sister who's slaving away hours to braid your hair that's gonna last at least 2.5 months, you got questions to her price, right? But you go anywhere else and you ain't got no question to the price. But who was about to say something that I stopped? You can say
Oh,
it now.
it's me. I wanted to piggyback off what you said and Robin was talking about. The one thing is that once we build something, right, you can have a black owner that builds something up. The next thing they do is they sell it. They sell it to the white man, right? Or someone will make like Twitter. They'll make Twitter, and then everyone black will jump off this and go onto Twitter. It's like, why is it so easy for you to leave the black product for the product by the white man, but you always complain, oh, we don't have, or we're not together, but you just left. You know what I'm saying? And that happens all the
Can
time.
I tell you why, right? Here's the thing. Business owners sell all the time, and then they'll start a new business, right? Because they want to make that money. Because you got to go in business to make money, right? And then here's the thing. Sometimes it is so hard. It is so hard to keep a business that is dedicated to the people because the
The
people
people,
will beat
yeah.
you down with a stick, even if they work for you, right? So they work for you and they say, you know what, they work and they you got a store with clothes and they put the sweater in the right spot on the mannequin and that sweater sells out. Now they think they should own a piece of your business. But you doing displays in Target all the time, you ain't asking for a piece of their business. So, and then too, you pay them and they think what you got. They think you have a certain amount of money. And now they want these astronomical raises in pay. And you like, hold on though. When you work for over there, you getting more over here than you got over there. But you asking me for ridiculous raises but you would never do that to anybody else. We got to learn
It's
to
we
be better to each other.
exactly.
And the moment we learn to get better to each other and start trusting each other, then we can rise up the food chain, right? And so again, somebody had to remind me, I don't know if it was science class or what class it was, where they showed you that pyramid and the hierarchy of things. And they said,
Maslow's law.
before you can get to the next level, you got to solve everything on this level. And the basic level was food, housing, and safety or whatever. And if you didn't have that, there was no chance of you going up the chain there. It's the same way with us. Until we learn to trust each other, and still we stop killing each other, and still we stop beating each other down, we're never going to get to those other levels to achieve those other things. I'll shut
And
up.
I have a
Can I
question for the
go,
panel. At what
Diva?
point did we
Yeah.
stop trusting each other? Like, how did we get here? from when we were
I
all
have an answer
fighting.
for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait, because Kurz wanted to say something, and then I'll come back around. Go ahead, Kurz. What did you want to say?
Oh no, everything you said sounds awesome. Love everything you just said. I agree. I agree with a lot of what you guys said. I can support a lot of what you guys said. My still thing is we have a right to say and think what we want to say and think. I am a sovereign person. And yeah, sure, there's a consequence. Yes. And he has the right to say it. This whole public lynching thing now, and we were talking about Kyrie initially. I'm not sure, like Kanye, I'm not a supporter, don't have any of his records, none of that. Kyrie, I've been to a couple of games, but he was playing the Warriors, so whatever, right? So, but I'm not like a supporter, but I support the right to say and think what you want to say and think. I support that right. And I support the right to post something that's currently available on another platform on my thing without repercussion or consequence because it is available on something else where anybody can go see it. It didn't have any words in that post. All it had a picture of was what's available on another platform. It didn't say go get this. It didn't say check it out. It didn't say read this. But they made it that he was promoting this. And yeah, sure, he didn't want to take the shot, whatever. Yeah, sure, his shoes might be $100, but obviously he has an audience that was willing to pay the money that they paid for these items. And he knew that that was a possibility. So it's not his fault we all can't afford it. And he knows we all can't afford it. So yeah, there's a responsibility. And he's also business minded enough to take as much advantage while he can of his name on a product. You know what I mean? But yeah, he should have like the first 3,000 pair. Forget about the first 1,500 pair. The first 3,000 pair per city, like half off or something like that, when he drops a shoe. That could be nice moving forward as a gesture that he cares if that's what we need. But in the meantime, he has a right to post what's currently available and have a thought follow up as perhaps a speculation, a theory. Why can't we talk about it? Why is it that the first time somebody said, when Nick Cannon, we can go all the way back to Nick, we can go all the way back to Whoopi. When Whoopi said what she said and got ex-nayed from the Exigade over there on the freaking View, I looked up what was anti-Semitic. Within 24 hours of that, it was different. They changed it. They updated on a whim to make it okay what they already did. And
That
I'm
was the
using
problem.
them again. I know, because it is a situation where I don't know who exactly to name in this situation. But the fact is that they changed the definition to encompass what they said she said wrong.
They moved the goalpost.
Yes. And so
they moved the goalpost.
You get to say and think what you want. And sure, punish me, but don't change the definition every time you want to correct my thought and get me further away from an idea that you're forcing down my throat. Every time you want to do that, that's not fair. That's not fair.
So I'll come back to you. I'll let you speak. Let me just throw this in the mix here. I hear you loud and clear, right? But I'll go back to the very basic of, what my mom always taught me growing up. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it. I will also connect to this thought process too, that if you're not aware when it comes to social media, and I tell my son all the time, don't play games with that social media because it will come back to haunt you. And so I'll tell you this, and this was very innocent, right? And my son has friends from like darn near every culture, right? Him and one of his friends for Halloween, they wanted to do costume. Remember that movie, White Chicks?
Yeah.
They wanted to do that. I said, bro, and it's so innocent, right? It's so innocent. But it's like, and it would have been cute and funny for them, right? But I said, bro, you can't do it. It's a shame, right? Because we're super sensitive now. It's a shame. It was a movie. You know, it's a thing, and him and his friend wanted to have fun and do it, right? And they was gonna put on skirts and all. I said, no, 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 pick something else, figure something else out, because y'all can't do it, right? Because y'all will be canceled. So
Yeah.
my thing is that yes, we have the right to say certain things. Yes, we have the right to do it, but you also have the right to use your brain, know the pulse of the room, and say to yourself, do I really want to do this? Do you know what? Even if you think it might hurt somebody, you have the freedom, you have the right, right? I have the right to say a lot of things. But if I'm in the room with a certain group of people and I even think a smidget, and me even joking will hurt them, I keep it to myself. I would
You're
never
right.
do it. So all
And I
I'm saying is, and I'll let you in, Roy, and I think Miss True Kelly was trying to say something. All I'm saying is, when you are of a certain age, you gotta think, because it is social media, because of these cell phones, because everybody can record and chop stuff up and twist up your words, and their twist up will shut you down for life almost. So we can
It
always
goes.
say, I'll let you in, give me a minute. We can always say that something is wrong or right. But the problem is we know from the beginning of time, wrong or right doesn't deal with anything with consequences of what people do. Okay? Wrong or right. You could be right all day long and they will still shut your entire life down. So I'm just saying that there's a cause that we have to fight. There's a things that we have to rise up to. But if we want to keep this thing simple and basic and say, well, I mean, it's not right, that ain't going to get us nowhere. You understand what I mean? We will get nowhere. We have to use our brain. We have to be strategic. We have to be smarter. And we have to say to ourselves, we know that things need to change. We already know that. What do we move past that and make a change? Right? But me saying that, oh, if I try to make a change, y'all was wrong for doing that to him. That girl, sit down. Don't nobody care. Miss True Kelly, I think you was trying to say something. Then King, I'll come to you. Then I'll go around. I'll go to 90 Love. What was you trying to say?
Oh, I wanted to agree with hers on everything she said. I
Mhm.
with Kyrie is that I don't think he knew how to articulate what was going on in that moment at those press conferences. And I understand when you come off of playing a game, you probably don't want to talk politics or what you post on your Twitter account. But I think it would have said something to the extent like, one, it wasn't a promotion. I just posted it because it's something I read, I liked, whatever, and say that yes, there were some things in there that were hateful to Jewish people and that I don't agree with. They would have let it go. But he never
I
said
don't,
anything.
I
Like,
don't, I don't think they would
remember,
have. Let me just say this to you, Miss True Kelly. If somebody right now, without using words, posted a picture of a book that was out that said UN people are stupid,
but it didn't say
are
that.
you going to
It
be
didn't
okay
say
with
that
that?
though.
It
That's
didn't say
like
that.
so
No, no, no,
extreme.
no.
It wasn't
So
about that.
I did not watch the documentary. I think it was Robin. I think you said you watched it, right? I thought you said the
Yes,
documentary is very problematic.
yes.
So my thing is, I can't sit there and tweet something that is super problematic and then be like, ah, that's not, you can't do that. So even if I just tweet the picture and what that picture represents is super problematic, then I'm part of the problem.
Right. And I agree too now with Clarence is saying if it's so problematic, then Amazon needs to remove everything that is problematic to everyone.
Thank you.
If that's the case. And I want to say another thing. We can talk about what happened to Kanye, but there need people who will see Kanye as a martyr and say, see, I told you, they control everything. Look what they did to that man because he said something. So don't say nothing because all this going to happen to you. So we got to watch what we do because you say, oh, we don't want Kanye to have more fan base and blah, blah, blah. But that is, they did exactly to him what he was saying they have the power to do.
Well, but Miss True Kelly, let's
We
be
knew
clear.
that though. We knew
Let,
that
let,
already.
let,
We
let me
didn't
let
need
me let me
Kanye.
just say this really quickly. Let's be clear. The crying didn't come until they started to shut him down.
Hmm.
So he
I
had no chance. He was good with these same individuals 2.2 seconds ago.
no, he
When they
wasn't.
made him get on the Forbes list by that contract that they signed up with him, he was good. So then all of a sudden overnight they become like the devil and he didn't want to be with them or whatever the case may be.
But
How convenient.
No, no.
Lord,
Let's
out
break this down a
for
little bit simpler. Let me just ask you this, Miss True Kelly. Then I'll let somebody else in the conversation. If you have a business and you're paying me millions of dollars, right? And I say, you know what, Miss True Kelly, you are a bitch. So you want to still do business with me? You good with me? You still want to write your $1 million checks to me? Are you going to say, forget her, cut her off, and I'm going to go to the next designer who respects me? What are
you
you going to
would.
do?
I would. But if he's making, I've never touched $1 billion. I don't know if they get $1 billion. Maybe I would be like, he just said a B. I could deal with that. But there's other things like you said something worse. Like call me that probably. But I've never touched $1 billion. I don't know what he's dealing with over there.
So even if you don't have $1 billion, if someone is working for you and they
Oh,
disrespect you, you just
uh,
want to allow them to disrespect you and
at
Come
be
my
on
okay
job.
now.
with it?
Come on now.
I mean, that's instant termination where I come from. I mean, you can't come for your boss's neck and think you're gonna walk into
And
work
then you
next day
go to
knowing
work
things
the
is
next
gonna be
day.
You
And see,
right.
cannot.
that's the
You
and see that
cannot.
was the problem. And see
You
that was the
cannot.
problem. He came for those folks, and then he didn't think them folks would never say. He didn't never think them folks was gonna go for, come after him.
I respectfully
Because his stuff
disagree.
making money, he was making money for the Beatles and everything else. He never thought them folks would come after him like that. But
He got too
forgot
comfortable.
who you were dealing with though.
He got too he got
Yeah.
Excuse me, hold on. Emmanuel, and them brothers, and them, they is a powerful Jewish family. You know, Emmanuel brother
But you know what though, Lisa, for 1.2 seconds, I'm even
Yep.
removing that out of it. We're just clearly saying right at this moment, if you're disrespectful to your boss, expect that you most likely gonna lose your job. Just point blank
you
period.
about to
You're
Point
lose
right.
blank
it.
You're right.
period.
You're right.
I,
Point
You're
blank
right.
period.
Yeah,
Okay. But
because you can see
hold on one second. Because this first sister right here, you dropped the mic. Free speech, but you can't yell fire in the theater.
amen.
That's what we're
or
trying to
bomb
Amen.
on
say.
or bomb on an airplane.
Gabor is here.
Hey, Gabor. Gabor, I would need someone to drop. I know my studio is full. Let me know if you want to come up. King, what do you want to add? Insubordination. I'm trying to tell you. Bernice, did you have anything else you want to add to this conversation?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Being born and raised in New York City in the 50s and 60s,
Well, come on,
when I
girlfriend.
used
I'm
to,
from the city. I'm from the
I'm from
city.
Bed-Stuy, but I'm here in
Okay.
South Florida now.
Hold on one second.
Every time,
Bernice, hold on one second. Gabor, if you want to come in the building, there's a free slide. Go ahead.
every
Go ahead.
time as a young person that I was getting ready to head south, because in New York we say what we want, do what we want, I would get that warning. Don't open your mouth. If there's something you don't like, don't say nothing, because if you say something, all of us are going to suffer. So
You can't different places, right? You got to watch what you say and watch what you do. Now
they
listen,
get
this
it.
is on a very basic level, but my son is learning how to drive and he's going for his driving license in December. When I drive with him now, I told him, let me tell you something, bro. When those lights come on and they say pull over, pull over. Don't get cute, don't get smart, don't try to prove no point. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because I want you to come home.
Mm.
So they ask you for
Amen,
your
Diva.
license.
Amen.
Hold on one second. They ask you for your license. Don't go digging for nothing. Tell them it's over here, over there, whatever, and do they want you to get it? Okay. And so now this is saying you can order. Lisa, do me a favor 1 second because you're giving feedback with the fan. Put it on mute. This is saying you can order that it has their license, the insurance in a clear package that you can hang on the glove compartment so that they
Mm-hmm.
can clearly see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
So,
only happening to men. When I first came to South
What?
Florida in 1976,
uh-huh.
me and some of my college friends were stopped on the road because we were people of color. I never experienced this before. They made us get out the car in the rain, and I think what they wanted to do is to see what our bodies looked like while we were wet. And they really didn't want. They just wanted to scare us to death. And it seemed like every other day, because this company that I worked for was in the middle of nowhere, we would get stopped, only us, and dare
It,
not say anything
you can't,
because
right?
they would
So,
do something to you.
right. So here's the thing, Bernice, right? All we're saying in this whole general conversation, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time to use your freedom of speech, and there's a time to not use it. And when you have a big platform and a major opportunity to help a community change the world, do the right thing and help us change the world. So all of these top athletes and high level celebrities, they have an opportunity to help us change the world, but respectfully, and they have this right to do this. You know what they do once they get into that life? They get into that life, they live that life, and there you go. It's like deuces, right? But then it's a hardcore because you had the guy Nipsey Hussle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who tried to stay in the community, who tried to run his store in the community. And what happened to him? The people in the community took him out. So
Mm-hmm.
you can understand why some people, once they get out, they don't look back.
You can still help from a distance. You can sometimes you can't go back
Okay, okay.
because
I
Right.
you
like
got
that,
too
Bernie.
many that want and they don't want to see you have. So sometimes you have to like help from a distance. You cannot go back.
I agree.
I like that and I appreciate that into the conversation. Okay, so hold on 1 second. Tracy, thank you for the super chat. Diva, I told my sons you better say yes, sir, and no, sir, and keep your hands visible. My lawyer will handle later. Come through, Tracy. Come through. And so a lot of people they think that you being aggressive and standing your ground in the moment is you winning. You're only winning if you come back home to me alive. That's the only way you're winning. I
True.
don't want to be out here fighting a cause about you later.
True.
When I want to see you. That's it. Even me, when I get pulled over, I told them, like, you see how I handle that? So a lot of times they're very nice in my town. When you live in the town, sometimes as long as you ain't getting cute and defiant, they be like, "Oh, you live here? Go ahead. This a warning this time. Go ahead." Right? Because it's so tricky with some of these streets. Like they literally do 25 miles per hour. You can't even put your foot on the gas. Like, come on. But some of these streets, it's like it goes from 35 to 25, and you don't even realize it, especially if maybe you're talking to somebody in the car, you jam into the music, and you're like, oh shoot, what happened? Where these lights coming from? But I'm just saying there's a way to handle things. Who wanted to say something? I'm sorry. Who wanted to speak?
Can I speak, Diva?
Yes, you can.
I just feel number one, I ain't asked Kanye to teach me no lesson about the Jews. I mean, I already knew this about them. I already knew they own. I did not ask Kanye to teach me anything. And I feel like he's trying to go on this self-righteous path and he's trying to recreate this Jesus walk. Just notice the beard growing out
Yep.
and everything. Like, Kanye, ain't nobody asked you to teach us no lessons. Seriously, go back in your corner. But I do think a lot of the deep-rooted problems within our community is the jealousy factor. We're always trying to one up each other. We're always in competition with one another. Oh, if you have 3 diamond chains around your neck, I could have 5 around my neck. It's just counterproductive when we do that because there's enough room for all of us to eat and share and be fruitful and multiply and support one another. And this is where all the hate comes from, the jealousy, you guys. That's what causes the divide.
I accept that and I like that. Tracy, thank you so much for the super chat. Diva, the only place I ever been stopped is New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey is beastly. It's beastly. But you know what though?
Especially
My
North
my my
Jersey.
my everybody in my family, they made fun of me, like, but I just always been like this. It has nothing to do with getting pulled over. Like I stay in the slow lane. Like I just, I'm driving Miss Daisy. Like that's just me. I don't got no need to speed nowhere, and I leave early enough to be on time. Or guess what? If I don't leave early enough, then I'm gonna be late. But I'm not a speed demon. I don't like it. I prefer. I mean, I have to drive because who's else going to take me around? But I really prefer not to drive. I'm not a big fan
Me
of
too.
driving. It's just so scary to me. Like some people, they just menace on the road, and then you're all of y'all that don't want to let people in. Y'all pissing me off. Like let me in. Let me in. Every other car. It's supposed to be every other car when there's a situation like that. You let somebody in, then somebody else let you in, and so forth and so on. Okay. Yes. So anybody else? Let me go
Yes,
around the room. Renee, yes, you're in the building. What
yes,
would you like to add?
yes. Diva, I agree with you 100%. As far as Irving, to be honest with you, I really don't know about that. I just hopped on YouTube and I saw you. And, they brought in Kanye West situation. So, with that, one thing I have to say about that and people defending Kanye is Kanye has been running amok in the black community for years. He's been playing in our faces for years, and we have allowed it for years. And
Mm,
I am so disappointed in our black leaders because nobody stands up when this man comes out of his mouth left, and nobody stands up and say anything about it. And that's why he's been
This
running
shows
amok
you the
for
power of
years,
money.
saying whatever, exactly, saying whatever he want to say, doing whatever he want to do, and have no consequences at all. So I don't feel sorry for him at all. This man is still a multi-millionaire, got way more millions of dollars than we'll ever have, and he will not give us any of it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I do not feel sorry for him at all. You got people in prison that are innocent, and they're in
mm.
prison. Nobody's fighting for them.
Well,
So I don't care. I really don't care. And the people
And
that
I
I know
think
don't care
that's
either. And I'm just telling you right now, we don't
and I
care. He
think
can go and buy his own island and live on it and be happy and have church.
We just
Amen.
want Kanye to shut up.
well,
Amen. Thank
well,
you.
uh,
drop
black
the mic on that.
leaders aren't saying.
Roy,
Thank you.
Roy, you. I don't know why it sounded like robotic for you. Maybe go out and come back in. It sounded robotic. Or maybe I don't know, do something. I don't know what happened. Okay, Renee, drop the mic. Okay, who else is still here? Oh, we had a lot of people that dropped there. Okay, we
I'm
get
just saying for my sake, and you know what
yes.
I'm saying? Um, why we can't stand together? When this, I'm like her, like she had said. I'm like the homegirl had said. What happened to our black leaders who was tells him, no, brother, you is wrong what you said? What happened? What is in the black community now? See, that's why I always say black lives don't matter, because I'm saying if our lives matter like we say we does, Diva,
Hmm.
we our black leaders will come out and say against this brother, no, brother, you is dead wrong what you saying. What you mean you say slavery was a choice? Why you keep saying that your children ain't gonna be black? Why you keep saying the stuff you saying about us black women, like your black sisters? Why you keep doing the stuff you saying about the African American community? What is the men? And that's sometimes what in the men in the hip hop community, like Jay Z and all the rest of them. Why they don't turn against him?
Well, Jay-Z don't
Well,
fool with
no,
them no
it's not.
more.
Here's the thing, though,
Uh,
Lisa. Right? It's not so much turn against somebody, right? Michael, you got to mute yourself, babe, because you're giving feedback. And you got to turn off the play in the background. So it's not so much turning against, right? And I think before, when some celebrities called Kanye to the carpet behind the scenes, he's the one that brought it to the forefront, right? I
Exactly.
think when him and what is his name, John Legend, had an issue, and John Legend talked to him behind the scenes, Kanye took it to the forefront, right?
That's
So the
right.
the thing is, right, we have to stop waiting for other people And we have to do what we can do to make a change, right?
But see,
And so, go ahead.
that's what I'm talking about, though, Diva. That's what I'm talking about, though, Diva. You see these people, these other celebrities. Why is John Legend got to be behind the scenes? Why you can't bring him to the forefront? Why don't be behind the scenes? Be to the forefront, cause I can support you, brother. I'm gonna come on me and Diva gonna come on here, and we're gonna support John Legend. We're gonna support the Jay-Z and the Beyonces. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Well,
support you.
see,
Believe me, I'm gonna support you
somebody
100%.
has an echo.
I'm
Hold on, Lisa. Somebody has an echo. If everybody can mute for 1 second, but I'll just say this, Lisa, he was friends with Jay-Z. But Jay-Z early on, and I'm gonna say this, I can't say it's bad, he recognized crazy. And when he realized he couldn't get through the crazy, he cut ties with crazy. Because
Exactly.
Jay-Z knew that I started down at ground zero or maybe even 6 feet under. And I done crawled my way up to the top. I'm not going to sit here and associate and mess with a reckless fool after all I built up, and I'm trying to talk to him and he don't listen. You ever have a friend that you trying to give them knowledge? You trying to drop the knowledge to them and they keep bumping their head against the same wall over and over again? So you either got to choose them or you. Choose
Same with
yourself.
Dash.
And
Choose
that's
yourself.
what not I really feel like as far as our black leaders, there's so much there's so many other real life situations going on. Because in my opinion, this is mess. This is just mess. This is just messy stuff. Our leaders have more pressing, real issues to deal with
Well,
than to really be speaking on this. Like
Say it
this
again,
is
Royal.
our black leaders. They have more. We have situations in our community that are more serious than this. To me, this is just mess. This is just
mhm.
messy. Instagram, Twitter, saying what I want to say, doing what I want to do. This is mess. Our black leaders don't have time to lower their standards to handle these kind of situations when we're still out here dying day to day from gun
Yeah,
violence. We're still out here dealing with issues with our doctors not listening to us as a black society. When we say we have issues, we have mental problems, we have pains, we have hurts. They're trying to take away our voting rights. There are so many more pressing issues than to deal with little Kanye over here. And I feel like it's more so in our local communities where we really need to, I hate to say stop supporting, but we have to stop supporting what we don't agree with. Like Diva, you said, we can't say, okay, well, we're going to stop doing this and we're going to stop doing that because we don't support it, but then turn around and something happens, or somebody does one good thing and then we put them back at the top tier. We can't do that. We have to really stick to our guns, whether they're in our community or not in our community. To me, it's not about the community, it's about right and wrong. He's wrong for what he says, he's wrong for what he does, and we cannot continue to sit back and justify and make excuses for him or anybody else. And also, it has to be across the board. This is just not a Kanye situation. There are so many other celebrities. He just happens to have that clout right now. He has just happened to been just. He gives me like that Donald Trump. He has just said so much. You say so much, and then when it comes back to hit you, you can't accept what you have said, or you want somebody to stand up for you, or you want your people, the very people who you didn't care about when it was time to go to the polls and really vote on the real issues. You didn't
right.
care about us then, so why should we care
Mhm.
about you now? Why should we have a justification or an excuse to give you for what you do? We can't do that.
Right.
And as far as the Kyrie Irving thing, I really feel like I agree with the freedom of speech thing and all of that. But when you are on such a platform, we have to really think about, you're no longer a regular human no more. You're
Come
no longer
on.
one of us.
Right.
You just can't say and do and think and feel and express those publicly. Privately, I don't care. You can have your own opinions, your own thoughts, because you're justified to do that. But you're not justified to get on social media and say things and then think it's going to be okay for whomever, whether in our community or out our community. You can't do that. That's just like my job. I work in the government. I can't sign a contract saying that, okay, I won't speak on these things and then get in my feelings or feel some type of way that they said something about me and then go and tell all the world, well, this is what's going on here, here, and here, and not expect some kind of backlash or some kind of reprimandation for what I've done, be it right or wrong, whether they get reprimanded or not. I have to hold myself to what I do and my accountabilities. It's not about them, it's about me. And there are other people who are behind me holding me up, expecting me to have that respect, if that makes sense, And when you let those people down, you can't be upset that people feel how they feel.
You cannot. Thank you for all of that, Roy. Good boy, what's up? You're in the building.
What's good, Diva?
What's good?
What's good,
Happy
everybody?
Saturday.
Hey, good boy.
I had just came in from the gym. I didn't even know you was on.
Ah, you caught me though.
Hey,
What do you want
I
to add to
did.
this conversation?
Hey, boy.
Wait, hold on one
Hey,
second.
baby.
Michael, listen, while you smoking, put your avatar up. All right. Okay, go ahead, good boy. What do you want to add to the conversation?
What we talking about?
We're talking about Kanye, Kyrie, the whole freedom of speech, how you got to watch your mouth. Just because we have freedom of speech don't mean that you should just recklessly say what you want, retweet what you want. You are responsible for it's social media. Social media. You are responsible for what you put out there, and you got to own what you put out there. And you can't later say, sometimes I think I have to have it too. I ain't going to lie to you. Sometimes I'm quick to like something, and then I look at it again and realize what it was saying. I'm like, oh, hold on
Me
now.
too.
Let me unlike that, right? So when you're a public figure, because I think some people stay up 24 hours and they waiting for you to slip up, you can hit like and unlike in 2.2 seconds and somebody else would already screenshot it. You're responsible for what you put out there. So what do you want to say? And some people, they're saying to me that, oh, you don't get the bigger picture. What they're doing to him is wrong. Many people have been wrong, and some of them are doing life right now in prison.
I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest, what's going on with Kyrie.
Okay.
I honestly have not been paying attention to what's going on with Kyrie. And the Kanye stuff, I had just zoned out of it because I was just tired. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that he was going to try to pander to us, to the black community when he got in trouble and the people got up on him. Because, they've been talking black and sleeping white for years. You know what I'm saying? And when it's time to come, when they get in trouble, here they come. Here they come. He had no problem with the White Lives Matter shirt. You know what I'm saying? But when he took it too far, but he still tone deaf because he said now he knows what it feels like to have a knee on his neck. Now you know what it feels. It's still tone deaf, Kanye.
Yes, it is.
You still got $400 and something million. You didn't have a knee on your neck.
Okay.
No knee was not on your neck. You could breathe. You could still breathe. So I don't know. And so what is it? What is this documentary supposed to be coming out that Kyrie was talking about?
It's already out, and it's on Amazon, right? And Robin saw it. I did not, but it's problematic. So my thing is that people would be mad if there was this recent movie about slavery and just saying a whole lot of hate speech against the people, and then everybody would post it and retweet it and say, oh, you gotta watch this right now. Listen, people got pissed over the Jeffrey Dahmer movie. So you don't think that this community is going to get pissed that you posting up a documentary that has some undertones or straight up, things against their community? People were literally, they lost their mind. They told us, don't watch this Jeffrey Dahmer documentary. But now on the flip side, they're saying that Kyrie is okay. What's the big deal? So how can you say,
what is
don't
it
watch?
about, Joe? What is the documentary about?
Robin could tell you a little bit more, but I know it has some anti-Semitic hate speech in it.
It's allegedly about. Let me just say the content includes a lot of anti-Semitic tropes. It has lies. I mean, straight out lies. It misnames different people or groups of people. It incorrectly presents his history. Um, it's just it's
That's
hard.
enough. That's
It's
enough right
but
there.
it even has a fabricated portion of an interview, yet saying that it was supposed to have been a recent interview, but the person that they made this thing up, the interviewee was a dead 2 years before this was allegedly made. It's a whole mishmash of don't go near it. Just don't. It'll make your
Yeah.
head crazy.
Right. So you do you see what I'm saying? It's like a lot of times I think we jump on the bandwagon, right? Because we want someone to be right, because we want to say we want to prove that what you're doing to them is wrong, right? And I stick with the thing that unfortunately we don't get to pick our punishment. But I will also add the fact that the flip side has you enraged, but this piece says, oh no, they're being too harsh on them. Literally, so many people was in my email. Oh my God, how did you watch Jeffrey Dahmer? How did you watch that series? Why did you talk about it? Ba 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 ba. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you're saying that Kyrie tweeting this and putting a picture up, it's cool. Nobody should come at his neck. Why? Because it's not about you. It doesn't offend you. And listen, the one thing they tell us in nursing, when you go to assess your patient, okay, it is not what you think is going on with them, it's what they say. If
Mm-hmm.
I offend you, Curves, because of something that came out my mouth, I can argue all day long that you should not be offended by what I said. But if it hurt you, it hurt you. And at the very least, I can apologize.
Mhm.
I
And
just really feel like the Floyd family is really going to stick it to him because after he made all those comments, then he turned around and attacked his child's mother. He just does not know when to stop because he's upset. She's suing him for 250 mil, but you keep re-traumatizing their family. You keep doing it.
She may honestly, it may take, she may get some money, but it's going to take a lot because
She ain't gonna get nothing.
yeah,
Um,
that's right.
well,
Well, I was
he's
going to say
pushing
it.
him
And
to
plus
Alex Jones. Don't be
this
She
way
pushing
he
him.
might
was
very
really.
well. She might very well get something. Remember Sandy Hook? That man with Sandy Hook kept on and kept on. They got paid.
But
Well, they
He
I'm gonna
going to
tell
said
you
hopefully get
the
this
paid.
man
what
with
really made
Sandy
me
Hook.
mad.
Go ahead, Diva.
This what really made me mad. And I'm really am through with him. He compared himself to Emmett Till.
That part was
Wow, I'm like,
no.
man, if you don't
exactly.
get up off him, you don't compare
I
yourself
didn't
to a
hear that.
13-year-old boy who was
He's all
cooked
they Emmett Tilled,
and murdered.
yay.
Kanye loves to play
Crazy.
in our face. He
And
loves
that
to
was
play
really,
in our
I
face,
mean, I
and I'm
had been
tired
done
of
with
it.
him. I had been done with him, but that right there hit it over the top. And you know what make this so sad of it is? We still talking about this food.
Well, you know what? I was going to say
And
something
we
like
give
that
him some,
myself, Lisa.
and we give him this so much attention. He don't deserve our attention like that.
I think
He don't.
it's
Because
all
I
a
promise you,
distraction.
you don't compare yourself to a 13-year-old murdered child. This
Yeah, hold on, Lisa. Oh, yeah, hold on, Lisa. What was you saying, Robin?
As we're having this lengthy conversation, I'm feeling very much like it's all a big distraction because what Royer said earlier is the truth. We have so many real life problems because the truth of the matter here, nothing that Kanye West or Kyrie Irving, I keep saying his name wrong, Irving, eat is gonna make me fat. I got nothing to do with it. But we have real life day to day issues, areas, concerns, problems that need to be solved and addressed. And what we're doing, we're chasing after something shiny and trying to keep up with the Kardashians.
Mm.
When you think about it, you go to the news in the old days, you would read like what happened in the neighborhood, what's happening with the government, these kinds of things. But now you cannot open it without saying something about somebody in pop culture, which again, I ain't never going to buy a skim. I have never purchased anything by Kanye West. Watching pro basketball, my own personal boycott many years ago. And we're really talking about this dude who probably would not spit on any of us if we were on fire.
The thing is though, Robin, so I understand what you're saying and I appreciate the conversation, but the thing is though, what we're seeing is part of a bigger issue within our community that can at least start the conversation so that we can go back to the baseline, the foundation, and to maybe try to fix things, right? So part of it is the fact that this, when we all start out, right, he started out, pretty much maybe on same level, and for to simplify it, right? He made it to the top. And the idea is to get more people up to that particular level, right? And so what happens is there's this saying that says each one teach one, but
Right.
in other communities, each one they do teach one. But what happens where the chains are broken with us, when I get up there, I'm like, I ain't reaching back to help them fools. Let them figure it out themselves. And they don't even throw us the blueprint. So then when we go to pave the way, we have to figure out the blueprint from scratch. And that's why we're millions of miles and hundreds of years behind, right? Because at the very least, I won't give Gabor, Curves, or Nadi, or nobody, or Royer the blueprint. I'm coming to you, Michael. And the reason why I'm not going to give you the blueprint, because God forbid you get to purchase the mansion next to me. Or God forbid, maybe you take that blueprint and do even better than me. Instead, I want to see you scratch, crawl, and beg. And then I even give you false narratives. I pretend while we on the same level, we in this together. I got you, girl. Ba 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 ba. But in the meantime, as soon as I rise to the top, or as soon as I got it, I don't even know you no more. So, and it happens at the very basic level of us working in Target together. Target is one of my favorite stores. If y'all notice, I mention it all the time. But anyway,
It's that
so
diva,
so
or they
even
want to charge us $1 million to get the blueprint. It's
girl,
always something.
boy,
When
yeah,
did
that
we?
part.
I
That's
don't even
what
know how we got here, though.
But
That's the
this
craziest thing because
this attitude's
I'll
been
tell
in
you what
Okay,
operation.
so
I
hold
recall.
on, because I want to be able to hear everybody. I'm gonna go to Gabor, then I'm gonna come to Michael. Let me go to Gabor. Go ahead, Gabor.
No, I was saying to Royer, that's what Master P said that he was trying to do to Kodak Black. He wanted to charge Kodak Black 2 or 10 million to give him to spare him some quote unquote gain. But the word on the street is that Master P broke himself. So how are you gonna try to give somebody some gain for 2 or 10 million? You know what I'm saying? And I always want to say, well, you'll give it to the white man. Look, ain't nobody worried about the white man though. You ain't white.
That part.
Yeah.
That part. I'm gonna tell you really quickly, then Michael, I'm coming to you. Let me tell you how I started my YouTube channel. I have a best friend that we've been friends for over 20 years now, right? During and I guess I could say it now, I don't know, with YouTube, you could barely say words, right? But during the pandemic, she was like, we starting a channel. I said, girl, what are you talking about? She does makeup and she's self-taught and she does it very well, right? And she said, mine is going to be makeup. What are you going to do? I was like, girl, I don't know about all this, right? She said, no, you're going to do it. So then she gave me my girlfriend, my bestie. Her daughter and my son are months apart, and they're like brothers and sisters. And matter of fact, when we're in the streets, people looking at us crazy because they like, are they twins? We're like, no, that's her daughter, that's my son. And then they looking at us. I'm like, whatever, but they swear those two are like siblings. But anyway, she gave me a deadline. She said, on this day, you're going to create your name, right? I said, all right, girl, whatever. And then she kept on me. And then I created the name, right? Then she was already doing all her videos. She had already started before me. I created the name. I didn't touch the channel, right? Because I was like, I don't know. What am I gonna do, right? So the next week she said, when are you doing a video? I was like, girl, all I got is my little cell phone. She said, girl, do the video. This chick taught me how to do the video. She did all the research and told me what YouTube videos to watch so I could start my channel. She's the one that showed me how to add the thumbnail to it. I can cry when I think about all that my girlfriend did and the reason why I'm here right now. This girl held my hand. So all I'm saying is that we don't have many people like that anymore, right? And even all of the people that I met on YouTube that I call my YouTube friends, like we all kind of, even though everybody's busy and we do our own thing, we all come through, we support each other, we're here for each other. And all I can say is we got to start with ourselves. That's the best we can do, right? And so I met Gabor through YouTube, and I tell you, I had the best experience so far, and I appreciate all the people that I have met. I have fun with everybody. Do you understand? But I'm just saying that it's very rare now that people want to help people. Even, let me tell you, when I went to the job, when I was working in the hospital as a nurse and I first came through, another girl that to this day, matter of fact, I'm the one who wedding I was in, my girlfriend Lillian, with everything I love. When I came in that building in the hospital, and she's a tech, they call them PCTs, right? That girl stood by my side with every patient I ever had. And I swear to you, because it texts through the vital signs, I knew with everything in me, when she did a vital sign on my patient, I could trust it. To this day, I swear to goodness, my last dime I will give to her. Another girl from the hospital, the secretary there, and we're all friends. We're all in a book club together, right? This girl right here, me and her like oil and water. We used to fight at that darn nursing station. The people thought we hated each other. But I swear to goodness, if I call that girl right now, tell her I was over here starving, she would drop everything she's doing and come to my house and bring me every food out of her house so I can eat. But what I'm saying, I bring all it up, that up to say this is that, right? The minute we stop the jealousy, the minute we stop the shenanigans, the minute we find out how we all can win on this YouTube and we share the secrets with each other, we'll be winning. But the thing is, everybody wants the crabs in the barrel. I'm afraid that Gabor is gonna come up to my level, or I'm gonna come up to his level. I'm not gonna say that I heard that you got to do this, that, and the other. It's ridiculous. It's sickening. And if you think about it, we all tell the same stories. People connect to the personality, right? And the thing I always love about Gabor, I swear to God, that darn what's good be in my darn head all the time. When he say, what's
Yes.
good, y'all? So you see what I'm saying? Like, you connect to the person. But we are so mean, nasty, and negative to each other. It's terrible. It's really terrible. And it makes you want to cry. But all I can say is that I pray the day comes when we all realize, like other communities, even if they hate each other, let me tell you this, especially at the jobs, right? Even if they hate each other, they gonna make sure that they get that supervisor position over you. But
Okay.
see, what we will do, we will hate each other, and we will make sure that other person get the supervisor position over you. It's disgusting. It's deplorable. It's sickening. But Michael, come in the building, because listen, in a few, I've been on here way too long, and in a few, my son, I gotta go. I'm Uber. I gotta go pick him up until he get his license. But Michael, what did you want to add to the conversation?
That I'm mad right now because I almost forgot what I was going to talk about. But I do want to say that I love you, boo. I start my job my Monday. So tonight because I got to get up. I got to, I know you real high maintenance. I'm just a basic guy. So
okay.
I'm a bit I'm a Wait a minute.
Ow.
Wait a minute, baby. Huh? Wait.
Look how giddy he is. He turning red.
Listen, this ain't date night, okay, baby daddy. We ain't doing all this right now, okay? You just got to come through to say hello. And yes, I'm high maintenance, all right, boo?
I know.
Pretty expensive.
Baby mama.
Look at the water.
Baby mama, you gonna my feet gonna be run over. I gotta ride the bus to make. Nah, but seriously, I wanted to chime in on that Kanye West. I mean, dude. Y'all, seriously. I mean, look, they just passed. They just they just did away with the interracial relationship in Alabama in the year 2000. For you to be with a pink woman, you know, to be in an interracial relationship with a pink woman or a pink man, you know, but a black man couldn't be with a pink woman. You hear me? They just outlawed that, made it, you know, they switched it around now, you know. So Mr. Ye, Coon Ye, or whoever, y'all ain't trying to be disrespectful, but he's coon to me. But you know, ain't no points against her. Put it on my channel. Strike me for saying what I said, because I'm not. It's not alleged. I'm saying, you know, this is in the books. It's history. You know, they just did away with a pink woman being with a black man in Alabama in the year of 2000. Boo, go look it up on. Just type in like, when was interracial relationship outlawed in Blase Skippy, and it's gonna come up with Alabama. So y'all know I know my stuff. So, but bye, baby. I mean, not bye, but later. Are you waving? Who you waving at over there?
Mims, we waving at Mims.
And who?
He is a hot mess, Diva.
Who you waving at? Because I'm thinking. Who you waving at, Naughty?
No, listen. It's too late in the hour for this. It's too late in the hour. Listen, Michael, but listen, we love you, but they like pink. They like pink. Okay.
Yeah.
Look. Listen. You wait. Okay. Hey, my big sis Speaks. We have to do better, Diva. You are 100% correct. Thank you so much for this super chat. I truly appreciate it. So listen. I'm glad you did. See who doing that? I'm gonna beat y'all. Good boy.
Hey, good boy.
Hey, good boy. No.
But see, Diva, can I make this point? Like, all of this has been indoctrinated in us from generation to generation, back to when we were on the plantation, and it was the field ninja versus the house ninja, right?
Hey, thank you for supporting my ninja. Don't be using my words, but I love you for it, baby. Mwah. Thank you, boo.
You got a patent LLC, sir?
No.
Okay.
But I know you heard it from some, because I'm the one that started that, baby.
Oh my God. Okay, wait, hold on. Michael, let her speak. Go ahead.
Ma'am.
No, I just have respect for Diva's panel, and it's just certain things we just cannot say, and we have to say it in a pleasant way, or whatever. But then you have like the paper bag test. Are you lighter? We were classed by how light we were to how dark we were. Like, so these are thoughts and ideas that have been indoctrinated in us in generation to generation, and it's still happening. It's just in a newer way. They just found new forms in doing it, and we have to start changing that mentality and putting each other against each other, because that's what they want. You know what I mean? The supremacists of the world, they said we don't got to kill the ninjas because they killing each other.
Right.
And that's facts. And
they say it out loud.
Yes, that's facts. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Daphne boo, I love you too. Baby, big sis speak. I mean, baby girl. Look, you know what? It's like if I ever soar like an eagle, you know how the eagle be in the, you know, just soaring, like the eagle will soar. Let me tell you something. That's why when I go on my platform, I support. I've been forgetting about my baby mama. Don't tell her though, baby girl, you right there. Don't tell her. But I've been forgetting. But you know, I support I shout out everybody.
She here though.
No, I mean, I don't.
Miss, wait, hold on 1 second, Michael. Miss, thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. He likes being, you know, how he was born. Let him be. Like, come on, let him be. You know, he likes being in his birthday suit. He likes being in his birthday suit. So listen, Michael, I'm not trying to cut you off, because literally I've been on here 2 hours, 38 minutes, and 58 seconds. And the kid is getting off of work at 8:30. I appreciate everyone coming through for the conversation. It's a conversation that we can have all day long, and it never ends. Before we close out, though, let's do our shout outs here. Curves have a channel, everyone. Larger Curves is exactly how it's written there. You can find it there. Go like, go subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, okay? So that you will be notified when she goes live. Has a lot of great interviews coming
Take
up.
it like that.
Lovable Lisa, I believe Lisa, you have a channel too. I know you don't go on all the time, but
But
your
my thing
channel.
of is, I want to say this right here. Y'all remember Tuesday, go out and vote. They're trying to take our votes away from us. Democracy does matter. They're trying to do that to us. They can't suppress the black African American vote. We are not going back to the fields. We are not going back being the porters. I'm sorry. We're not doing that. You're gonna step out and vote as it is, as it might be for
Yes, we're gonna vote,
your
Lisa. I don't
Democrat.
mean to cut you off, Lisa, but I gotta get the kid, okay, before he
Okay.
be out on the corner waiting for me. So Lisa, you have a channel. Thank you for coming through. I always love having you. Can everybody mute? I'm hearing a little feedback. I don't know where it's coming from. So I love you, Lisa, and I hope you got something good there you eating. Robin, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thanks for coming through. This is a conversation that we can continue to have on so many different levels. And I will say this, guys, and we can all think about it later, all of us content creators on here, we can all rise to the top. We can all figure out how to get these million subscribers, these advertisers, and make that money. Okay. Michael, can you mute for me, please? So we got to get there. We're gonna figure this out together. We're gonna share the blueprint so that all our brothers and sisters coming behind us, they'll be able to just use the blueprint, rise to the top quickly, and not have to reinvent the wheel. Naughty Love, I know you have a channel. Is your channel is your channel exactly how your name is written there?
It's this Naughty Love movement at the end.
Naughty Love Movement. Throw it in the chat there. All of you throw it in the chat. You know I'm technically challenged, but throw your link to your channel in the chat so everybody can go support. Vernice, it was a pleasure. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
through.
Thank you
And
for having me.
I appreciate you coming through. And I know that it's hard sometimes when everybody's on a panel for everybody to get their word in. And sometimes you got to just jump in. You got to be like, Diva, I need to speak. Okay.
Diva!
But oh my God.
It's
Somebody
too
get
late
my
for that.
baby daddy. Please.
Yes,
Get
yes.
my baby daddy. Hold on. I'm coming to you. Hit mute, Michael. Get my baby daddy. I cannot right now. But thank you, Vernice. Yes. Listen, everybody. Michael,
Ow.
my baby daddy. Good boy, I'm gonna kill
He
you.
a hot mess.
I'm
You
gonna
need
kill
to
you.
cool off, Michael.
Yes. Michael has a channel, everybody. Is exactly how his name is written there. He does what he does on that channel. And what he do. But go support, like, subscribe, hit the notification button so that you can see what he's all about. That's my baby daddy, but we going through some things right now. We may have to go back on Perry's channel to settle out our differences. But in the meantime, Michael, I got technical issues. Throw in the chat there, throw your channel, your link, whatever in the chat so that people can follow you. Gabor, I love you. It was nice having the family reunion that other week. Okay, we all got
Ow.
I wish I could see your face when you say that. That's
What's
hilarious.
good, Diva?
I'm
I
gonna beat
just want to
you.
give it up.
I'm gonna
Give
beat
it
you.
up one
That's
time.
what's good. And wait,
Give it up one
everybody.
time for Black Love, y'all. Black Love, I love to see it.
Oh yes,
Yes,
black love.
boy.
What? Yes. We came together, y'all, and I love it. We came
Oh, I'm talking
together.
about this
Oh,
here. I'm talking about this here. What we see here tonight.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Gabor. Us right here,
Oh.
right now.
You're
Everybody,
right.
Gabor has a channel. Okay. So go over there and support, like, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that when he goes live, you can be a part of the conversation. It goes down over there. And there's a video that Gabor did a marathon. Gabor, was that 5 hours?
It was 5 hours, but we'll never do it again.
Good God. Oh, Canelo. Listen, babe. Thank you, Canelo. Yes, because that's right. You got to put Andrew Gabor to get to his channel, right? So, but the bigger thing is about that video. It was a discussion about hair. I'm sure it spun off into a lot of different things. But go check it out. Go check it out. and throw your comments in there. But most importantly, hit the like button when you go over there. Check out that video, okay? You can check out more, but definitely check that one out when you go over there. So go to his channel. Smoke, you know the deal. We know we hang in these streets. We're gonna have to get back together. So because we still gotta go find this Kenya Moore hair care product that we can't seem to find anywhere. Okay, we can't seem to find it anywhere. Go ahead.
Diva, we got to get in before the holidays because I'm not trying to be in New York City swamp with everybody in the world who's coming to see that Christmas tree light. So we got to make it hot this month and get in, get out.
Okay, we're going to get in and get out. We'll be in touch. You know, you got my number. We're going to figure this thing out. We're going to go, and I'm gonna wear walking shoes because we're going
to. Because you was wearing your 6-inch stiletto supermodel heels when we went to Sherry's show. Okay.
Listen, let me tell you something. Because I gotta be cute. Because my baby daddy acting up, and I need me a husband now. He acting up.
Hair flip, Diva. Yes.
Okay.
No. Oh, no, back you don't.
She gotta go. She got.
Wait, Diva. Can I say this, Diva? I just have one thing.
Diva, please go get the baby. Please say the baby.
Hold on.
Go get the baby, Diva. Go get the baby.
Diva. Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
Y'all have a good night. I'm going to get me some lemon pepper wings.
Okay, listen, guys. I love y'all. Have a good night. See y'all next time. I had fun this Saturday night. I got to go get the kid. And Michael, baby daddy, stop the smoking. You don't want to give me secondhand smoke cancer.
Okay, as soon as I get this job and start working at least 6 months, because I'm putting on, they got 401k and everything. So I need, and you're a nurse too. But no, seriously, I'm gonna stop smoking because I noticed in my voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop within the next. Y'all can't take everything from me. I just stopped drinking.
All right, one day at a time. One thing at a time. Yes, and get the patch or something. Love you guys. Good night. I gotta go get the kids. Bye.
Good night, dear.
Good night.
Peace out.
All right, boo.